Told them pipe down, I don't care what's next, I need it right now. And I got it numbers going stupid like they dropped out. What they think they doing, I don't know, but we can find out. Feel like Lewis Hamilton said, go and shut the lights out. Look, if I said it, you already know. They ain't never touching what I'm doing, told them let it go. I ain't with it ticky-tacks like I ain't playing X and O's. Go compare the numbers, said I think they missing decimals. Look. Told them that I'm about to run it now. Too much money out of music, dog. Now the bank account is never running out. Educated on the business, said when I'm talking to him, I can dumb it down. At the summit of this mountain, dog, and I'm camping out. I'm never coming down. Look, pipe down. I don't care what's next. I need it right now. And I got it numbers going stupid like they dropped out. What they think they doing, I don't know, but we can find out. Feel like Lewis Hamilton said, go and shut the lights out. Lights out. Floors in the sauna, but I'm iced out. Back up on my balls, so I said I feel like Mike now. Said I never do this, but they push me, so I might now. And I check your month, these dollars pockets getting tight now. Look, told them all I'm about to make it out. Reinvested every dollar, dog, and I told them all never take it out. When they talking about my name now, I told them don't be scared, gotta say it loud. Lot of trash in these stories lately, like it's on the curb, I'm about to take it out. Look, pipe down, I don't care what's next, I need it right now. And I got it numbers going stupid like they dropped out. What they think they doing, I don't know, but we can find out. Feel like Lewis Hamilton said, go and shut the lights out. Pipe down, I don't care what's next, I need it right now. And I got it numbers going stupid like they dropped out. What they think they doing, I don't know, but we can find out. Feel like Lewis Hamilton said, go and shut the lights out.
I bet on myself. Yeah, I bet on myself.
Yeah, I bet on myself. Yeah, I bet on myself. I don't need you, I do it myself. Yeah, I bet on myself.
Yeah, I bet on myself. I bet on myself.
Yeah, I bet on myself. Okay, dream so big that it become crazy. Let out the beast, no, they can't tame me. Don't play with me, better mind your business. I cannot stop now, I ain't finished. I'ma keep on going till I got that. Okay, the way that I'ma do it, they can top that. No way. Critics trying to hate, but I don't talk back, I know that. Plotting on the kid with the bull, tell them all that. I'm the one that I'ma gamble on, I ramble on. I'm about to get my ramble on, and I'm the one they really couldn't get a handle on.
Oh, it's the most wonderful time of the year where the Yankees aren't playing because they suck balls and Hal can't be found. It's the best.
Wonderful time of the year.
Thank you for having a much better voice than me on that one. But
hey, teamwork, make the dream come, baby.
Hey. No, it really is. It really is the most wonderful time of the year, in my opinion, because World Series is over, and now you get a chance to kind of reset. And it's actually becoming like quite the regular thing for us Yankee fans now. It's like we're always looking to reset a little bit, a little more. You got to reset. You don't know anymore. I mean, we don't know what the hell this team is doing anymore. Nobody knows.
It's too many. When you think about it, in the last couple of years, how many times have we had the reset conversation about the New York?
Too much.
I mean, bro, I'm almost like tired and sick of it. But at the same time, I'm like, with as well as the U is doing, I mean, can I really complain? I don't know.
The U is on fire, folks.
Bro, you
the
said
U is on fire.
You said 73K views for
73K last night.
Let's take a moment and
again, we don't do this all. Like people don't understand. We don't during the season. I don't say, hey, there's a good Dodgers game. Let's call it. Hey, there's a good Mets game.
No.
Let's go ahead and call it. We don't do that here at the U. So, man, the U is going up. We got an announcement. A lot of you already know, but there's a lot of people
it's going
don't
up.
know. It's going. The launch angle is insane
Through the
over
roof.
here, folks. When you join the U, your launch angle immediately goes up. It's just how it goes. But
simple.
we got a lot to talk about today, man. I want to start off with something because I hate doing this. First of all, I'm dead serious, folks. Dead serious, right? Congratulations to the Dodgers. Like, I know there's going to be a lot of Yankee fans, a lot of Blue Jays fans, Mets fans, whatever, that, the hell with the Dodgers, forget them because they're buying everybody. They're buying everybody. Oh, God. Oh, my God, they're buying World Series. Shut up, one. Shut up, okay? Two, congratulations to the Dodgers for winning the World Series now back-to-back years. Yamamoto got a great streak. He's 2 for 2. 2 years in the league, 2 chips. Very, very nice for him. Really has been worth every penny that he was actually paid. I mean, this man has lived up to every single expectation whatsoever. He's been that damn good. Shut the dough says pizza fart. Okay, so that's a great way to start Super Chats. Community,
Okay.
We got to do better here. I don't know what the hell that is, but anyway.
No, I mean that's one way to start an episode. I don't.
Okay.
There's different ways, but that's
Fine
one
with me.
way, for sure. That's one
But
way.
you know, Francis, believe it or not, I am a very petty guy.
Are you? I didn't think so.
Yeah, you didn't think so. Yeah, trust me, he knows. He knows how petty I am. But there's a part of me, I have not followed along with a lot of the Yankee fans that were like, oh, let me go do the Blue Jays lose. Let me put it back to the Blue Jays and all that.
No.
Here's what I did do, though. Here's what I did do. All of my Dominican friends, right,
Yep.
that posted, and my Dominican friends, that posted, and a lot of the Dominican accounts I follow, Hector Gomez, Jordan, a lot of other people out there that I'm close with. They posted things to Vladdy and like, oh, look, he's crying, but nah, keep your head up, Vladdy. You the man, brother. All those I made sure I went underneath and commented, oh, too bad.
Yeah, you're an asshole for that. I'm not gonna lie. Because there's bad different ways you could have went about that, but too bad. Oh,
No, because
poor
yeah,
you.
that's what it was.
You.
I did Olivia Soprano. I said, oh, poor you.
Listen, I
love Vladdy, don't get me wrong.
I want to
But
say,
let's not act like the man hasn't talked a lot of shit.
no, he's talked a lot of shit. And
It's
here's
called fandom, folks. Crying.
I have to be realistic. As you guys know, it's been stated here on the channel. Vladdy is my best friend. I love Vladdy.
That's right. That's right.
Listen. Here's my
Let
thing.
me tell you something. Dinner reservation for next month have been canceled.
It's not gonna happen. Apparently, those reservations have been canceled, so it's not. But here's what I would say. I mean, look, I had a very love-hate relationship with Vladdy. He made those comments about the Yankees and everything like that, and I was like, it just felt a little clout chaser-ish to me or whatever. But the more I watch this kid play, bro, especially this playoffs, at the end of the day, bro, I literally fell in love with Vladdy Jr., the player. I feel like as hard as he goes for this team, the way that he plays for Toronto, the way that he cares, the passion with which he's had. Listen, people can say whatever they want at the end of the day, but I mean, you and me, and I know you'll agree with me with this. I mean, yeah, we can poke fun at him crying in the dugout after, but
Yeah.
there's a part of us as Yankee fans that's like, damn, I need more of that from my guys. Like,
No doubt.
and you shared that sentiment. I retweeted
All the
a couple
time.
of your tweets. You were very, you praised John Schneider's tweet. Not
Excellent.
tweet, sorry, his comments.
Yeah,
You praised. Even when Seattle did it, you were like,
Yes.
look at Seattle doing it the right
Yeah.
way. Again, you're not doing that. I mean, part of it is petty, but then there's also part of it that's like, nah, bro. Like, I mean, this is the kind of like things that we want as Yankees fans. Like, we just want to know you guys care, and we
Very
can't
much.
even find our owner right now, so it's hard to know.
Francis, you bring that up, and we're gonna, guys, just to give everybody a brief little agenda. We are talking off season today. Now we're getting into the thick of things. The off season is officially underway.
Season's
Free
done.
agency is about to be wide open to every team out there. So this is the exciting time. This is what NYYU really lives for too. In the off season, we go all out for this. So we got a packed show for you guys. So do not go anywhere. I will get to the super chats, I promise, but I do want to make this point while Francis is here. I got no hard feelings towards any of the teams. The Blue Jays beat the Yankees. They were a better team than the Yankees. I was wrong on that. No doubt about that. On paper, I still believe the Yankees had a very strong team, but there's always missing ingredients that we've always talked about here with this club, that it feels that way. I'll say this about the Blue Jays. They did not play a great Game 7. Like, and I'm gonna throw that out there because I haven't heard a lot of people talk about this.
Or Game 6 for that matter.
Or Game 6. Last year, right, the New York Yankees had a 5th inning that nobody wants to talk about. Even now, if they're another year past, we still don't want to talk about the Yankees' 5th inning, right? Blue Jays fans
I'm
gonna
actually
have
offended that you would bring that up. Right now.
it makes you start to think, right?
No, yeah, it does.
Blue
I'm
Jays
I'm feeling
fans,
triggered.
you might go a little crazy for a little bit there. It might bring out Yankee nerd any minute. I don't know. But Blue Jays fans are going to have a tough time forgetting about their ninth inning of Game 7. Top of the ninth, they were 2 outs away. Miguel Rojas, by the way, you know, the back and forth is kind of comic. I hate saying this. I got to bring this up, Francis. I'm sorry. Because everything to me like goes back to the Yankees. Miguel Rojas is the guy that Jazz and him go back and forth, or Jazz takes the jabs at him for things that he did there, and he kind of felt like Jazz was too flashy and blah, 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 whatever. And Miguel Rojas hitting ninth inning home runs.
He got the last laugh right now, bro.
Save it for his team, and he's 30-something years old, had a pretty good year for something WAR and whatever. And
Pete, he could have had a dog shit year. He's got the last laugh.
He got the last laugh. And
got the last laugh right now, man.
You know, he saved his club, the number 9 hitter. I'm sitting there calling this game going, oh, man, Ohtani's batting third. We'll see if it comes down to him. Miguel Rojas is the guy who gets the job done. And by the way, that's what great teams do. It's always the guy that you don't really think about that gets the big punch in and knocks you out. And that's what he got in there. Will Smith, of course, adds it in later. But in the bottom of the 9th inning, IKF... Former Yankee IKF is on third base with the bases loaded and 1 out. And I'm sitting there going, wow, Canada is going to walk it off. They're going to go nuts. Ground ball to Miguel Rojas. He bobbles it. He like almost falls down a bit, gets off balance a little bit. IKF took no lead whatsoever.
He had no secondary lead at all.
Bro, before the pitch, he's nowhere off the bag. He was out by this much.
I get it. Some people
Jason Dominguez would have walked in running. He wouldn't even slid.
They're gonna say because that was with 1 out, right? Am I not mistaken?
1 out.
Yes.
Correct?
It was 1 out.
Yes.
So some people are gonna push back. Some people I've seen a little bit of that. Like, well, it's 1 out. You have to be careful.
Oh, bullshit.
There's careful, and then there's like almost egregious levels of not.
Francis, there's a shot of the pitch here being thrown, and he's still not taking a lead off the bag.
Pete, no, the shot that I saw, the ball was off the bat. And he was still 5 feet away from third base. Like, I'm sorry. There's just, look, there's things that can be defended. And then there's certain things that you can't, they're indefensible.
Facts.
My brother, what you're talking about right now is something that is indefensible. I'm sorry. Like, I'm not putting the World Series on one player. And I know you're not doing that either.
No, not at all. No, I'm not saying they lost because of IKF alone. No, there was a lot of other stuff that happened.
When you look at that game, it's gonna be. Listen, if there's a Blue Jays fan that comes to you tomorrow, Pete, and says, "Bro, yo, we lost that World Series because IKF didn't take," like you would be rational and be like, "Nah, bro, there was a lot of things, whatever." But how much could you really argue with that guy, though?
You can, because again, it's not like you were gonna take the lead; you were gonna win the World Series, and it was this close.
And you're the home team.
It was that close. You're the home team. It's over.
That's my thing. Is that. When you're the whole, like, I think people forget that aspect of the game. On the road, the Dodgers have to play a little bit more, prudently in a sense, because you don't have last licks. So you're a little bit more careful with your leads. You're a little bit less aggressive. But when you're the home team and you got the last say, aggressive, balls to the fucking wall. You don't head. And I feel like, again, bro, it's gonna sound so bad because they literally took the Dodgers to Game 7, and they literally could have won. They had 2 chances to win the World Series. And if you go into each game, it probably totals up to somewhere around 4 to 5 chances to win this World Series, and they didn't.
Right.
But for some reason, bro, when that last double play was completed, Ken Singleton's voice played in my head. He's like, listen, the Blue Jays have had good teams for a lot of years now, and they play really well, and they do it. And sometimes they'll get there, and who knows how far they'll get. But until I see them do it, I just can't believe it. And I was like,
that's crazy. That kind of rings bells now, doesn't it, when you hear that? Man. But I do, before we move on from this World Series, because again, it didn't have much to do with the Yankees, but it is kind of funny how some things can be related still to the Yankees. John Schneider, after the game, apologized. Not because he did something wrong or, his team weren't extremely gritty and kept fighting back and kept staying in there and kept being dogs like they were, because they were.
Yes, they were.
He sat there and said, I just want to apologize to the fans.
Yeah.
It wasn't hard to do. The owner of the Mariners said, I like to apologize to the fans. Cal Riley said, I like to apologize to the fans. I don't know, friends, if I could tell you a single Yankee who said that. I don't remember the last time the Yankees have ever said, you know what they do? They do that thank you fans, though. Thank you guys for showing up and us sitting here and being dog shit. But I appreciate you guys for coming.
Which, by the way, the thank you fans, that message on the stadium was already gone this week.
You know what they do? You're a homeowner. Somebody comes over, they take a shit in your toilet. They don't flush, they just leave. And you go, thank you, have a good day. That's what the Yankees did. That's what they do every single year.
They've been taking the most disgusting truck driver shits in our toilet for the entire Boone era.
We got some good truck drivers in this chat, all right? We love you guys.
They're not even spraying air.
Take a good shit on us, all right?
You know what I'm saying? They can't even light a match in that motherfucker. They just leave it like, sometimes they don't even flush. They just literally drop the deuce and hit the road, Jack, and that's it. I mean, bro, it was really telling when I drove past the stadium on Thursday. It was
okay.
And the thank you fans message. No, sorry. Saturday. Actually, the day of game 7. I drove past Yankee Stadium on Saturday, and the thank you fans message that was on the screen outside of the stadium was already gone. I was like,
of course, they moved on.
Like, the season's not even done yet.
They moved on. They said, bro, it was there long enough.
We haven't even seen our owner though yet. Like, we haven't laid eyes on Hal Steinbrenner yet. And the thing,
but was it there? They're like, it was on there though. Yeah, that's enough. Let me get to a couple of super chats, and I want to relay one more thing to that man again, Hal Steinbrenner. J-Rod, let's go Dodgers. Loved the live last night. Appreciate you, brother. Hush says, well, might have lost it here for a second. 1 second, let me find it again. There it is. What's up, everyone? Saw Volpe yesterday in Upstate. Took a picture and told him to hit for contact when he gets back. Incoming 5-WAR season. Look, let me tell you, coming back from who knows what he's going to be when he comes back? He coming back from surgery. Who the hell knows? Rich Squire says there is no crying in baseball. All right, little no crying action in baseball. I feel you, brother. Rod Thompson. What I noticed is that both teams have a plethora of hitters that grind out at bats, and the Yankees don't have none of that. The Yankees strike out far too much. And I do want to relay this back to Hal Steinbrenner on something. We share this page, profile, I guess it is, a lot from X, Yankee Slut. Again, It is at Yankees Light. Lite, I believe that's what it is. A Yankee Slight. I don't know. One of those. But Hal Steinbrenner on the Dodgers spending. This was January 28th, 2025. We'll see if it pays off. These are Hal's words.
This was the interview. This was the famous interview of Hal. You remember that?
Yes.
This is the last time that we heard Hal comment on the Yankees, actually.
They still have to have a season relatively injury-free for it to work out for them. Well, the Dodgers did not have a relatively injury-free season. They were injured a bit. And the Dodgers are yet again holding up the World Series trophy as World Series champions. And I tweeted something last night also because I seen a lot of Yankee fans, Francis. Yankee fans, mind you. I'm not talking about Kansas City Royals fans. I'm talking about this logo. Yankees fans sat there and were saying, but it's just not fair. The Dodgers spend far too much money. And honestly, it hurt me in the middle of my chest.
Me too.
My heart hurt when I read this. I said, oh my God, it's happening. They have really convinced the fan base that we've become a poverty franchise and that we just can't afford certain things. We cannot match other teams anymore. We are now no longer the Yankees of old. They've convinced a lot of people that, guys, you got to be nice to us because it's not right. It's not fair. Can you believe this? This is what we've become?
Look, the Yankees propaganda machine has done wonders with this fan base. I mean, how often do you and I have to argue with people on the timeline, telling you about the why Hal Steinbrenner can't afford this or can't afford this guy or that, whatever. I mean, these people are, I don't even know that brainwash is the word anymore. I mean, when you're talking about the team that rakes in the most revenue of any other team, which, by the way, is not going to continue to be the case if the Yankees continue this way. Like, correct. That whole thing
won't
about,
be the case. I agree.
No, the Yankees, whatever. Again, I'm sure they think that this is never going to change because of the logo and the stadium and the fact that it's kind of a tourist trap at this point or whatever.
Yep.
I disagree. I'm sorry. I don't know who their business people are or whatever, and I'm sure they would say they're well more qualified than I am. But listen, man, call me crazy. I disagree. I think that there is a world where it's very possible that a couple years from now, sometime soon in the next decade, the Yankees are dethroned as the highest, in terms of highest revenue teams.
Very possible.
I could see them being dethroned, and I could see that being very possible, which is why Hal Steinbrenner is on the side of the owners who want to instill the salary cap.
Correct.
The salary cap would help him and his narrative to cut spending and lower the payroll and all that stuff or whatever. He wants to do that shit anyway. He just wants an excuse to do it because he's a coward. All right. He doesn't have the balls to just lower payroll and say, I did it because that's what I wanted to do. Deal with it. He's not tough like that, which is why we haven't heard from him or seen him and why he stutters and why he has to fake being a fan when we know he's really not. He's not one of us, and we know that.
No one near it.
The DNA of a Yankees fan is the kind of DNA that you don't have to say a word. We sniff it. We smell it. It's an aura. It's a sense that we get from people. And the one thing I will tell you, there's a lot of people on Twitter, there's a lot of people on social media in general who I disagree with their dog shit takes about the Yankees, but I would never sit there and say they're not fans. That's the one thing I will say. A lot of the people who I have fought with, all right, argued them down. The one thing I'd never say about them is that they're not fans. I do realize that even though I disagree with them vehemently, they're as much of a fan as I am. Yeah, that's not something I can say about our owner. It's not something I can say about him. I just know it. You just sniff it. All right. You can tell. And that's what I get. When I hear Yankees fans saying that kind of thing, I can see Hal Steinbrenner smiling on his yacht wherever the hell he is.
Of course.
Because he's like looking like, we won, man. We won, bro. We convinced.
Yeah, the bottom line is there. They're good. And then you got fans, like we said, saying that, oh my God, but it's not fair because we can't compete with that and this and that. And
we can't compete with that. It's crazy.
It's nuts. Because that is what they're saying. Look, somebody could sit there and go, well, Pete, do you think a team can win with a $225 million payroll? Yeah, of course. Of course they can. But can the team, again, it goes
to the Yankees do that? The real question.
Yes.
Can the Yankees do that?
But it goes to the theory of getting the best when it's available. That is your advantage. And the Dodgers are doing that. People tend to forget the Dodgers have also traded very well.
Yep.
They've made good trades. They've developed very well. They've done all that extremely well.
Glasnow was a trade.
Glasnow was Mookie Betts was one of the best trades in years. Nobody ever expected that type of deal to happen. It happened. Yep. I mean, they've done a lot of good things there. And I'm not saying that Brian Cashman has never done nothing good. There's obviously been good things, but I do want to jump head first into this because, look, right now, by the way, really quickly, it's not a huge deal, but he was our ace last year. Max Fried did win the Gold Glove Award. So shout out to Maximus Decimus Friedius.
Good for him.
As the Gold Glove winner for the American League as a pitcher this year. Well deserved. He's like a cat on the mound. He's very, very quick. So shout out to Max Fried on winning that award. The greatest of all, says Hal, is focused on AC Milan, which he is an owner of. Yes, we know he's an owner of that. That is true. But I do want to stick on this for a minute because free agent.
They're ass too, by the way, if you watch that.
So there's multiple ass being handled out there. Multiple free agents. The list is out there now. Everything's out there. And I'm going to start with what I believe is a fair ask. And you can talk me down. Chat, you can talk me down. You guys can say, Pete, you're being absolutely insane. You're nuts what you're asking for. Now you're just not being realistic, okay? I'm on Sports Track right now. Yankees projected allocated payroll. This is of everything that could be. This is their predictions on arbitration, picking up options and all that fun stuff. Is currently right now $240 million. Now, I'm going to make one change. I'm going to say they don't pick up Jonathan Loáisiga, which is $5 million. So their payroll right now would be $235. Is that fair?
Yeah.
I would like to see the Yankees add about $70 million in payroll. Am I asking too much, chat? Is that, and I want the chat to say this, and Francis, I know you're very good with numbers. You know your stuff. Am I asking for something that is insane that this, come on, Pete, that's crazy. That's a crazy ask. It's not fair. It's not like the Yankees have done this before. No, they shouldn't do that.
No, not even a little bit.
Okay. So keep that in mind. I'm only asking up now. Francis could counter that and go, Pete, I think we should do 90 million, maybe 100.
Which I'm actually I lean.
Okay, so
I
maybe
a little higher, not very much.
Okay, so he's leaning a little high.
I also want to be realistic.
So let's me and you say this. I would like to see payroll go to about 310. What do you say?
315, 320.
Okay, so I don't think we're being insane here.
No, we're not. Yeah,
nuts,
we're not very far off. Because my number is based off of guesstimates on some free agents. That's all it is.
Exactly. So that's fair game. Now the Yankees have multiple holes, right? They got left field open. And again, I say they got left field open. You want to know why I say that, folks? We can all sit here and say Jason Dominguez. I don't believe the Yankees have any interest in actually playing Jason Dominguez. This is just go with me for a second. Is a top prospect. Yep. We know the defense isn't great, but we know what his back can do. We've seen flashes of it. He didn't get a lot of playing time. His defense did get better later in the year. Was it average yet? No. But again, this is a very raw prospect still. But they played Alex Verdugo over him. And then last year was like, all right, he doesn't exist. He pinch hit to save booze from Anthony Volpe. So that's what he was to do. His job that day, go protect Anthony Volpe because we told you so. So I believe Jason Dominguez is going to be traded. That is no doubt in my mind. I believe Jason Dominguez will be traded. I've been saying it for 2 years that I think he will be traded. Does that leave Spencer Jones a spot? Maybe. I don't know. But I'm going to say left field and center field is open. Anthony Volpe is projected to miss time at shortstop. We don't know how much time that's going to be yet, but shortstop is open. You got to figure out first base and then full-time catcher going forward. Is it Ben Rice or is it Austin Wells? Is Ben Rice the first baseman and you don't worry about nothing else? Yeah. Those are the current spots open. And I think it is fair to say if you could upgrade at third base, you're really not locked into nobody. You could trade Ryan McMahon. It's not like you couldn't trade him. Now, Brian Cashman has not been known to give up on a player that he just traded for. I don't know if it's ever happened where he's made a deal for a player that's under contract. He was like, yeah, I'm going to get rid of you next day. Martin Prado was one. That's the only one that comes to my mind that I remember. Like the next year they got rid of him, which was kind of surprising because he was very good for the Yankees. And then he went on to have a very strong career. But he doesn't really do that often. So for me, that is the openings there. I want you to tell me where you think just go over where you think your projected payroll should be. And then we'll start getting into names based on who's available and what we think could make the most sense for the Yankees.
So I'm right around the same number as you. I think when I tallied it up, this was a couple weeks ago. So, but if I'm not mistaken, my number was between 320 and 325, which ultimately put the Yankees at with the tax bill and the surcharge, put them around the 400 million in terms of their total bill for payroll in 2026, right? That includes their luxury tax payment and the surcharge for being over several years in succession. And they would still pay around 400, which is a lot of money. But when you make 750 mil in revenue, not including deep playoff runs and stuff like that, you're still netting 350 million plus in profit.
And also, I don't think we're also including all the salaries that are going to come off the books over the next 2 to 3 years.
Now, that's another reason why I say you go for it. Why? Because you have 2 more years of Stanton before you can decline his club option. You have a couple more years. Well, obviously, the DJ LeMahieu was off the books eventually after this year. Hicks is off the books also. Stroman comes off the books also. Listen, there's a ridiculous amount of money coming off the books the next 3 years for the New York Yankees. Mm-hmm. If you go 4 years out, the only players that are still locked in are Judge and Fried. Like, it's crazy. Like, if you look at it, it's wild. Garrett Cole and Rodon, their contracts end the same exact year, which is 3 more years. It's nuts to think about because it feels like we signed Cole yesterday, but we didn't.
Yep.
We signed Cole at the 2020 season, and we're going into 2026.
Yeah.
It's 3 more years on Cole and Rodon. So after 3 seasons, the Yankees have little to nothing on the books, which is why I don't see why there would ever be trepidation going to the payroll that you and I are talking about when you know that in the first year you'd pay 400. In the second year it'd go down. The third year it would go down. In the fourth year it would go down significantly.
And the Marlins, as Replay just said, the Marlins started kicking money too for the final 2 years, isn't it?
Yeah, well, Stanton's number going into this year is only 22 million.
Is nothing, yeah. So it's not like he's getting paid a ton as it is anyway.
And I also have a big trade, which I already spoke about here, but we'll get into it later. I also have a trade that's really big that takes off significant money off the books.
So yeah, we're gonna talk about that a little bit here, but I do want to jump into that. I did have a member chat, I believe, from our good friend LA Lou. Howdy, y'all. Just basking in my happiness. Time to think of next year. Y'all need a bat like Schwarber, an upgrade at shortstop, and a healthy Garrett Cole. And a healthy Garrett Cole is going to be huge, but the rest of the show is going to be talking about all of that stuff. But first and foremost, I do want to send a little shout out here. Let me get another sip of this. Absolutely delicious, my friends at White Rabbit. White Rabbit, look at this. Get a look at that, folks. White Rabbit. Look at this. Come on, baby. Sent me, I thought they were going to send me like a 12-pack. They sent me like a 36-pack.
Yeah.
And this one right here, passion fruit kratom seltzer, absolutely phenomenal. No calories, basically nothing. Actually, I mean, like nothing in this damn thing at all. But it is absolutely, well, it ain't gonna focus, is it? Of course, it's not gonna focus. Take my word for it, damn it. There ain't nothing in it, but they sent me this. I told them that I would try it live and go ahead and do that. But zero caffeine, zero alcohol, of course, and absolutely exquisite. So who knows? Maybe NYYU and White Rabbit will be doing some good things together here over the next 2026, because that is the year that we're going to be talking a lot about. So I did want to shout them out to keep me pumped up, motivated, and ready to go for this episode. But do we start with who's available? You just want to talk about the players? Like maybe we go 1-1.
Let's do that.
You want to do that and see if we agree on certain things?
I think almost three of our moves are actually identical.
Yeah.
So we can start like that.
So if you say a different guy than I'm going to start off with somebody because I've been researching this player a lot, and I want to show everybody on who is 37 and he's kind of at the end of his career. So maybe you jump to that route. No, Tatsuya Imai is the guy I want the Yankees to go after. Now, there's going to be a lot of people out there immediately saying, Pete, but why do we got to talk about somebody that is a starting pitcher? Why are you not starting somewhere else? Well, I'm actually looking out for Hal Steinbrenner in the Yankees. And Swimmy Miami, or whatever Swimmy's name was, who was a Japanese investor that came in, and apparently we just can't, Minami, we just apparently cannot convince a Japanese player anymore to come to the New York Yankees, where, mind you, Hideki Matsui was legitimately Godzilla here. Ichiro Suzuki played in our uniform. Masahiro Tanaka. I mean, it's tough to believe this. And again, here's a guy at 163 innings last year, 178 Ks, a 2.09 ERA. He has a career 3.07 ERA in about a little over 1,000 innings. Just an absolute competitor. Nasty stuff. Mid to high 90s fastball. Amazing split. Multiple off-speed pitches. 27 years old, again, to help solidify our rotation. Now, does that mean that I sit back and I go, if Skubal is available, the Yankees should show no interest? Not at all. Not at all. It doesn't take me out of that. But when there is the possibility of bringing a Japanese player over that's not going to cost as much as Yamamoto cost. He ain't going to cost that much. He ain't going to go over to 300 millions. At least I don't believe he will, but I don't think he will go over to 300 millions.
No.
Probably looking at 20 million a year. He's around older, that mark.
He's older and doesn't have the exact resume.
Correct. He doesn't have the same resume. Remember this, folks. You guys got to remember one thing about Yamamoto. Yamamoto has always won. Even as a young man, like a very young man, he has always won. There was always like legends attached to him. He does these weird warm-ups where he tosses javelins and he throws darts and all this crazy stuff that he does. And he comes out of a bullpen. He throws 7 shutout innings and he could do it all. And he's kind of showed that the legends are fairly true. But Imai is a guy that I love for this team. Going into a rotation where early next year, you're not going to have Garrett Cole. You're not going to have Carlos Rodon. You do have Cam Schlittler there. You do have Louis Heel. And we'll see what else the rest is for the Yankees. Of course, Max Fried. But my thing is, if you can add a 27-year-old arm who is that young, has already done it, it ain't like he'll spend time in the minor leagues. He wouldn't need to be immediately at the top of your rotation, potentially, or at least your number 2 to begin the year, potentially. You got to be able to add players like that, and you got to be able to get back into the Japanese market somehow. Now, there are some of those other guys out there. Murakami, we've talked about before. Akamoto, we talked about. But for me personally, out of all those Japanese players that are available that could really help the Yankees revenue-wise and bring in that additional market again, Imai is not my... I'm not saying that as my number 1 pick, but Imai is one of the names that I have on. To me, the Yankees should truly, truly go hard after.
So the reason why, in terms of rotation, he would be my number 1 pick is because of cost effectiveness, right? He is not he's not going to cost what Yamamoto costed.
No.
He's older. When we say older, it's hilarious because he's literally 27. So he's
27,
not old by any stretch of the imagination. But Yamamoto came over here as a 25-year-old. So he was literally even a baby. He was even younger. He also doesn't have the resume that Yamamoto has. So that being what it is, he's not going to have the circus around him that Yamamoto had. Now, a lot of people, to be honest, like you guys are hearing Imai's name on our podcast. You're not hearing his name on very many podcasts. It's very different from the Yamamoto sweepstakes where you were hearing it all throughout that season before he was posted.
Everywhere.
You saw when Cashman went over there. You saw when David Stearns went over there. You saw when Friedman went over there. You saw when everybody was going over there to watch this guy pitch or whatever. You saw it. Everybody saw it. This was a dog and pony show for the whole year, and you knew what was coming. There was going to be a circus that winter, and it was what it was. This is not the same case, right? And the reason being is that it's not going to cost the same thing. So why do I say he'd be my number 1 when there's possibly a guy like Skubal available or other guys in free agency? Well, Skubal's going to cost more money, right? He's going to cost more money. 2, he's going to cost money plus prospects.
That's right.
That's a cost that, look, as much as I would love Skubal and pinstripes, I just feel like there's just no way in the bluest of hells that the Yankees would ever entertain that because he is going to cost players plus capital, right? They have a hard time doing either or, but both, it's nuts, okay? It's nuts. And with pitching, obviously, pitching is at a premium. It's going to cost a lot of money. The Yankees know this, but at the same time, the risk involved is so heavy and so high. And you imagine you trade for this guy, you extend this guy to his ridiculous contract, and he gets hurt in year 1 or 2. I mean, you're literally kicking yourself like, how the hell did we get stuck with that? So why do I say Imai? He's going to cost less, and he's only going to cost money.
That's right.
And there's also the fact of the handedness, right?
Mm-hmm.
In our rotation, we have 2 very strong left-handed pitchers, right?
Correct.
We have Max Fried, who, again, congratulations, just won the Gold Glove. He
indeed
operated as our de facto ace for most of the season.
Congrats, Max.
Carlos Rodon, who is another high-level lefty, okay? They're not only that, but they're also 2 guys who we are paying significant money to right now.
That's right.
Do you feel comfortable going and then paying a 3rd left-handed starter even more money than the first 2 I just named? Some people would say it's Tarek Skubal, man. It's different. Like, you really got to look at what I get it.
Of course.
But when you look at the success of teams like Toronto and realize that this is a team that plays in your division, and you look at what they do to left-handed pitching, does it make sense for you to have 3 of your rotation be left-handers? Probably not if you're the New York Yankees. Now, could you say, yeah, well, I would prefer if it was Fried and Skubal? Yeah, of course, I would too. And I would also like to wake up to $1 million under my pillow tomorrow. That's not the world we live in. Yep. We already have Rodon and Fried on the team. It's going to be hard to sell giving a 3rd lefty more money than anybody else in the rotation. That kind of bodes well for Imai.
Yeah, definitely. I think there's one more thing too that we can actually throw out there when it comes to a guy like Imai is, like we said before, right? He has the youth already on his side. He's 27. He won't be 28 till May. So he's pitching the whole year at 28 years old, basically. The other thing that you got to think about is at full health, you'll have Garrett Cole, Fried, Imai, and Carlos Rodon. You're a fifth starter at that point. Yeah, it matters. But do you know what the Yankees would hold in the palm of their hands? They would have starters galore along with their youth, the minor leaguers coming up.
Yep.
That trade scenarios would be right over Brian Cashman's head. Like, hey, brother, which one do you want to grab to? Who do you want to go to here?
Yep.
Because look, and again, I just want everybody to know, I'm talking about cards here. I'm not talking about I would do this, but you could have a card in your hand to say, I could deal this if I need to of a Cam Schlittler. You can have a card in your hand and say, I could deal this if I need to of a Louis Heel. You can have a card in your hand and say, hey, look, ERC, I could deal you. Hey, look, Carlos Agrane, I could deal you. You have those cards in your hand, whereas a Yankee GM, you could say, hey, we could make some of these moves here if we need to. We're available to do that. It makes your mission a whole lot simpler to have those possibilities. So he also adds to that. He also makes you better in that regard. Yep. Felix Nunez says Yamamoto's contract seems like a steal now, $325 million. Yes, it is. It's going to be a steal. He looks,
to happen.
Really phenomenal. So, that's the player that I'm starting with. I know you touched on that also. Who is the player that you would be running into the offseason going after?
The number one person that I would start it with is another player that I know that you also are highly interested in.
We know.
Bo Bronx. Bo Bronx, for me, is something that we've spoken about already, but I'd be remiss if I didn't speak about it after his performance in the World Series. Bo Bronx was out of the Blue Jays lineup for the ALDS and the ALCS. All right. This is a guy who lost weeks of reps rehabbing from a serious knee injury. He thought he was going to come back. He re-injured it on the base paths. I mean, this is a guy who was out for a while. He comes into the World Series colder than you can be in the highest leverage moment of a season. And what does he do, Pete? He
on one leg
delivers.
On one leg.
Not just one time.
Not Ohtani.
Three times. I mean, this kid on one leg, bro. Like you just said, on one leg. Time and time again, he delivered. And in the biggest game of the season, Game 7 against Shohei Ohtani, okay? The alien. 3-run bomb, okay? I mean, this guy is box office. Everybody was telling me about the defense and whatever like that. Well, let me ask you that. Did you have any question about the glove at any point with Bo Bichette in the World Series?
No,
you didn't.
On one leg he was doing
it. You didn't. You know why? You know why you didn't have any questions? Because he just hits. He doesn't care who is on the mound. He doesn't care.
Doesn't matter.
He is just a hitter, a professional freaking hitter. And he does it in April. He does it in May. He does it in October. Damn it. He does it in freaking November. Okay. Those are the kinds of hitters that deserve to get paid. Okay.
Yep.
You want to talk about the glove? We can talk about the glove ad nauseam. We can talk about the glove whenever you want. But here's my thing. All right. And you've also said this, right? So I'll admit, I'm taking this right from my brother next to me on the screen. You really got that many concerns about the glove? Well, guess what? You got a shortstop coming up through the ranks. If the glove really is not something that you can do and it really proves to be that much of a liability, then maybe the guy that you have coming up can take over and you can slide him over to second base.
Yep. Francis, I'll say it again. If Anthony Volpe hit 300 and had an 800 OPS, he could have the same 2025 defense every single year and not one person would complain.
Nobody would give a damn.
Nobody would give a damn. All of a sudden, we are living in a world where you must have a gold glover at every position, yet people tend to forget. Juan Soto, my good friend, I'm going to say it. He could get mad at me if he wants. Is ass defensively. He is not
a good fielder.
Nobody is perfect. His downfall, he's not a great defender. Probably never will be. Okay? He helped the Yankees walk into the World Series.
Yeah.
He said, hey, guys, I might miss a ball in right field, but here's a 3-run homer off of Gaddis that's going to send us to the chip. Nobody bitched about Juan Soto's defense. You know when Yankee fans started to talk about his defense? When he signed his name to a Mets contract.
Exactly.
And then it was, let's talk about his defense now. It's good. Don't worry, he wasn't good defensively. I saw somebody once. Francis said, Bo Bichette said, I don't know. I'm a little scared he'll come here and be Anthony Volpe.
Oh man, I'll tell you, these people are freaking nuts, bro.
Yankee fans, don't let me just help you out here. Don't put their names in the same category. Bo Bichette, guys, let me show you something here. Ready? I'm gonna read this out to you. If he didn't miss the time he missed with the knee injury that Francis was talking about, hitting 3-run home runs on one leg in the World Series. If he didn't miss that time, okay, this would have been the third time that he's led the league in hits. The third time he's done it. The guy is a career, mind you, I'm going to say it again, a career 294 hitter. He has a career 806 OPS. He has a career 337 on base percentage. His OPS plus for his career is 121. Why are we making this difficult? I am having a hard time understanding where a lot of Yankee fans are coming from saying, the defense. Are you mad? Are you mad that this is what would prevent you from going after a guy like Bo Bichette? But you know what's probably going to happen? The team in Canada is probably going to sit there and say, hey, Bo, what would you like? Because we'd like to have you back playing for a World Series contender. And it wouldn't shock me if they give him a lot of money and nobody talks to him.
They should.
But can we do something here that we don't always kind of try to move things around and have a little bit of fun? But I don't know where you're at, because I know you're a little slightly different than me when it comes to Jazz. When it comes to Jazz Chisholm.
Yeah.
You're a little slightly different than me when it comes to him. But I want to ask you a question on this. And I want to ask the chat this. If you got Bo, would you put Bo at second base? Or would you simply just say, nah, man, look, we kind of got the setup already. You've been playing short. Yes, we saw you at second. Would your numbers probably improve defensively at second? But yeah, probably would, because it takes away a little bit of stuff that you've kind of hurt you a little bit at short. Or would you simply say, brother, shortstop's yours? That's the biggest, downside we have, and that would be the biggest upgrade.
It would depend. It would depend for me on what I'm able to do with Jazz Chisholm in the offseason. My priority with Jazz Chisholm in the offseason would be to trade him. I know there's a lot of people that would have very valid pushback on that. They would say this guy stole 40 bases. He hit 30 home runs. He played a more than solid second base.
Yep.
He's a phenomenal player, a very talented player. Why would you trade that amount of talent away from a team that looks like they need more talent? My answer to that is I don't see the Yankees extending him, right? And Jazz, to me, seems like a player who is very emotional, wears his heart on his sleeve. I mean, a lot of times that's what we love about him, but then there was a lot of times throughout the season where it cost him. There was times where he let the umpires get into his head. There was times where he let other players get into his head. You brought up the stuff and these things are things where I don't know if the Yankees are wrong for saying we're not extending this guy right now. I mean, you have fans saying it from the immediately as the Yankees were eliminated. They were saying, well, one of my priorities this offseason would be extend Jazz Chisholm.
And it wouldn't shock me if they do, by the way.
Well, to me, I would actually kind of be shocked if the Yankees extended him. And the reason that I would be is because I feel like he just doesn't profile as the kind of guy that they pay because of some of the things that are done off the field, the head games, the mental mistakes, the things like that. I feel like for him, he just doesn't seem like the kind of player that they forgive those things for. So I feel like I don't know that they're going to pay him. And here's my thing. Would it shock me if they offered him? No. It wouldn't shock me if they offered him. It would shock me if they were able to agree, because I don't think that even if they did offer him, they would offer him what he would be looking for. Because I think Jazz Chisholm and his camp is going to sit there and say, dude, I am a possible 40-40 candidate. All right, look at my power, okay? Yes, I hit 30-something, but I could very well get to 40. That's not out of the realm of possibility. I stole 40 bases easily. So that means that you are sitting here looking at a 44 player who plays one of the middle infield positions and a left-handed bat in the stadium. Talk to me nice. You know what I'm saying? The money needs to be representative of the kind of player that I think that I am. And I feel like the Yankees will be on the other side saying, that's fine and dandy. But there's the arguing with the umpires. There's the ejections from the game. And while you are more than not, you are very solid defensively. There have been some situations where you make lapses where we're like, when we really, really needed you to not make a mistake, you made a mistake. That's where I feel like that could be a disconnect. The Yankees.
My only reason why I feel like it wouldn't actually shock me if they extended him now is Brian Cashman. I made that trade. He performed his best ever. That was my win. So I'm going to lock him in now because I got it right. And like I said before, it hasn't been Brian's MO to trade for a guy and send him packing. The thing with Jazz is, and I'm going to make this very, very simple. I love the idea of having guys that aren't afraid to say what they want. I love the idea of a guy saying, hey, if I'm going to, be chit-chatty, I'm going to be chit-chatty, and it's cool. Don't get me wrong. You had your, like Francis, your 30 homers, 40 RBIs. We predicted 30-30 here. You did it. You made us look good on that one. Thank you, Jazz, because I got a lot wrong this offseason.
For sure.
But the talking has to be backed up because this ain't Miami. That's the difference. New York is not Miami. Miami, you can talk all you want. Nobody's going to hold you to it. Nobody's going to say, let's put your feet to the fire now, because if you're going to talk that shit in New York, you better back that shit up. That's how it goes. That's how it goes in New York.
Nobody hears it.
That's nobody hears it. Nobody cares. Nobody holds them accountable.
Yeah.
If you're gonna talk that shit in New York, you really got to know that you're going to go out there and back it up. Like, it can't be like Francis said, where an umpire says, strike! That wasn't a strike! And then you're just failing at pitches because, it's in your head now. You can't do that type of stuff. You can't do that. No. But Francis, there is a world where potentially you could run Jazz out there. And I don't know. Do you think there's another position change potentially for Jazz? If Jazz, if I remember well, I do believe he rated fairly good in the outfield.
Oh, I thought you were talking third base.
No, I am gonna go bonkers here. Because he's so athletic and he's that type of player. If I remember well, he actually did grade pretty decently in center field. And that second base has been known as his best position. He also played a pretty decent third base.
Yeah.
Would that be something you'd be open to if the Yankees came in and said, we want to leave Bichette at second base? We think that's a great spot for him. If Lombard is ready, we really think shortstop's where he's going to be. We like Anthony. We got some backup guys. Maybe we have Caballero. Maybe we sign a guy like Orlando Arcia, who's going to be a free agent. The Yankees had interest in him. I know that's not sexy. I'm just throwing something out here to have a conversation, folks.
Yeah.
Is there a realm, a world where you think the Yankees would again approach Jazz and say, hey, look, man, we're going to have you move again? Do you think that's a possibility?
Wouldn't shock me. If they are, at the end of the day, how could it shock me? If they got Bichette, the shock would already be gone. I'd be shocked if they made that move. So if they got Bichette and then started talking to Jazz and said, look, we want to keep you here, but we want to move you to a different position or something like that, then I'd be like, okay, let's see it. Let's see it. At the end of the day, is your lineup better with Jazz, Chisholm, and Bichette in it? Of course it is.
Hell yeah.
Of course it is.
Crazy. It's stupid.
I feel like there was one point too that I didn't make before that I forgot for a second, but this is also one of the biggest things that was telling to me about how the Yankees view Jazz Chisholm. Game 1 of that wild card series, right? Mm-hmm. This is a wild card series. There's no room.
That's a good point.
There's no breathing room. There's no play for tomorrow. There's no nothing. And the Yankees, we know that they have this mentality that there's always another day and stuff like that or whatever, but when they still, what they put out there is what they think is the best, is what they think is their best chance to win.
Yeah.
The moment that I saw that Jazz Chisholm's name was not in that lineup, Listen, you fans, you people in the chat, you people on Twitter, whatever, you can argue with me till you're blue in the face. I'm not disagreeing with you. All I'm trying to do is express to you that the Yankees may not see Jazz Chisholm the way that we do. And what's my case in point? The lineup from game 1.
That's a great point.
When you hit 30 plus home runs and steal 40 plus bases and play the version of second base that he did, and yet you can't get your name penciled in for the first game of the playoffs. I mean, bro, to me, it's like, yeah, like, and yes, they put him right there. Yes, they brought him into the game. They put him in games. Yeah, I get it. I get all of that. Doesn't change the fact that they made the decision that they made. And
that is a great point.
To me, that was one of the first things that opened my eyes to say, Francis, they might not like this kid as much as you like this kid. Maybe the smart thing to do would be, if they're not going to keep him here long term, trade him and get something for him, then let him walk for nothing. That's where I'm at. If they don't see him as somebody that's going to be here long term, then I would much prefer they trade him for something that we need right now. After the season he just had, you can get something very good for Jazz Chisholm right now. We're not talking about selling low. We're talking about selling as high as anyone could possibly.
Yeah, of course. It could be the highest he'll ever, and then Jazz is high. Jazz is pretty damn high. I mean, he's always high. So this could be the highest that Jazz, could ever be, could be moved for. But
yeah.
I'm on the side. Look, I don't know the moves they're going to make yet. So as it stands for me, I've said this before, I would like to hold on to him. Because if the Yankees are out of things, he could be one of the biggest bats that could be available at the deadline. Yeah. And that could help the Yankees kind of reset if they have to, if God forbid that's the case.
Yep.
Angel Osuna, brother, welcome to the U, fam. Appreciate you becoming a member. We have one more, too.
Welcome.
Who was the other one? I know there was another one, folks. I'm going to find you. David Miser, welcome to the U. You guys can join our Discord server, baby. Just connect it. Download Discord, go to settings and connections, connect your YouTube, and bada bing, bada boom ski, you're back. Who we got? No, I want to ask the chat a question real quick because I want to know. I don't know these numbers that great, France. Like, I'm not always the quickest one to go find out the numbers on the defensive run saved and all that stuff.
Remind me to come back to Jazz later on because
I'm on him right now. So maybe you want to say
cool.
something else.
Part of the reason that I want to trade him it connects with another move, with other moves.
Okay, so all right. So that might connect something later that you're gonna say.
Yeah.
I want to just ask the chat. Maybe somebody could look this up. Am I right or am I wrong that I believe when he was a center fielder, he was actually a plus defender, a pretty solid plus defender in center field. And I want to make sure. I might be wrong about that. Again, I am not super analytics, man. I could look into these numbers, but I don't always know. David says, Peep had my account hacked, so I had to create a new one. Sorry, guys. All good, brother. But I am just waiting to see what everybody says. Because, again, I'm not advocating for the Yankees to move Jazz Chisholm to third base. I'm just saying moves that could happen. Who knows if that could make sense. I would go for there. So I'll see if the chat throws it out there. I know Kev is really good with all this stuff when it comes to DRS and breaking down, fielding stuff. I'm not the greatest at that, but let's move on to my next name, Francis. And my next name is probably predictable. Kyle Tucker. Kyle Tucker is my next name, and he's a guy that, I'll be honest with you, Bo is my 1A. Imai is my next. Kyle Tucker would probably be my third target. He'd be the third guy I'd seriously consider to go after because Tucker does everything with the bat. Maybe, but probably not as good as Juan Soto does. But he's like a version of Juan Soto. He's kind of similar in that regard. Now he is a better outfielder. But here's my question to you on that. Where would you play Kyle Tucker? And do you agree that they should go all out for Kyle Tucker? Or at least definitely be talking and having conversations?
Yeah. First answer is I 100% agree they should go all out for Kyle Tucker. I think that when I look at this market, the best hitter available on the market is Kyle Tucker, and the Yankees should shop at the very top of the market. When you make more than everybody else, you should act like it. You should spend like it. Now, as for where would I play Kyle Tucker, that's where things get interesting. Kyle Tucker is a right fielder. He's a pretty solid defender, but I don't know that left field would be an option for him. I'm not sure that would be something that would be good for him physically, and I don't know that it would be something that would work out for us in the long run. What I do know is that they have moved Judge around. Now, am I saying to move Judge to left field? No. I think ultimately what we need to start looking at with Aaron Judge is as much time at DH as physically possible, right? Which some people are going to say, well, you got Stanton there, and Stanton's, he's making $22 million. You got to play him. Do you have to play him? Do you absolutely positively have to start Giancarlo Stanton if he's not hitting, if he's not doing well enough? I don't know that I agree with
Definitely that. Definitely not against right-handers.
I'm sorry.
From what we've seen this year a lot too. No, not necessarily.
Yeah,
not against tough righties.
I don't know that I agree. I don't know that I agree with that. And I know for the one thing I know for sure is it's not going to get better. Stanton's not going to get better at this stage in his career. He's most very clearly on the decline. Yes, he hit the ball hard in the playoffs, but didn't have much to show for it. I don't expect very much from him going forward. If I sign a Kyle Tucker, Giancarlo Stanton's name would not be a name that comes into my mind as a reason that I should not. He would not be a name that I write into my cons list when I'm discussing Kyle Tucker. I'm sorry. I would play Kyle Tucker probably in right field. That's what I would do. Does that mean that I would move Judge to center field? Or I would listen, I wouldn't love it. And be real with you, I would not love to put Judge back there, but I mean, if I had to go back to Judge in center field because it meant Kyle Tucker in right field, would I do it? Yes, I would do it. And I would not be looking at it as this is going to be my team for the next 5 years. I'd be like, this might be my team for the next 2 seasons. And after that, Judge is going to be my full-time DH, whether he likes it or not. He needs to stay on the freaking field. And that's like whether, like, again, that's not a discussion. That's not a conversation. Yep. It's just the way that things need to go.
See, what you just explained right there is the reason why Bo Bichette is my 1A.
Gotcha.
Because there's an obvious position that he can fill and completely upgrade his team.
Mm-hmm.
Because that is my only downside when I think about Kyle Tucker.
Yeah.
My downside always really goes to where does he play? Now, look, you know what would have been the greatest thing in the world? If Tucker had more than 13 2/3 innings at first base.
Yeah.
That would have been unbelievable.
Yep.
If Kyle Tucker was a guy that had a lot of innings, even if it was 300 to 400, 500 innings at first base, and you're like, hey man, he just didn't have to play there, but he's a better right fielder, but he's a pretty damn good first baseman.
Yeah.
If that was a real conversation, which I don't feel like it is, I would be sitting here right now and said he got to be your 1A. He got to be your 1A. Ben Rice becomes your primary catcher, and you have that man putting in work this offseason on getting ready as the regular catcher for the Yankees. And now you're talking about an extremely dangerous team because you got to, again, this is not going to happen. I don't think they would do that, but I just want to throw this out there for the hell of it. Tucker at first, Jazz at second base, Bo Bichette at short. I mean, that's mind-blown type shit. Like if you were able to make that happen. So that's why he fell to like the third target for me, is because there isn't the easiest need in the world. And let's be real here. The Yankees would never do a move like that and be like, hey, G, we appreciate everything, brother, but see you later. I don't even think the Yankees would do it in his final year and just say, hey, man, we got to get Judge back to right if that's the case, or to DH, and we're just going to have to release G then. I don't think they would even do that, to be honest. So that's the only reason why he kind of fell off for me. But you are right. If you pair him with Aaron Judge and you do the, whoever's the leader, let's say if it was Bichette or somebody else, leadoff hitter, then you got Tucker, then you got Aaron Judge. It's like it was in 2024 with Soto and Judge. They're very similar. He also steals bags. People forget this guy steals 20+ bags a year, it seems like. Kyle Tucker. So he's gonna get a lot of money. He's gonna get a big time deal. Now, there's been a lot of debate about this. And I want to pick your brain on this to see what you think.
Are we moving off of Tucker? Because I have one quick point.
But no, okay. If you want to add a point, please go ahead.
Just
it's still staying on Tucker, but add your point.
It's real simple. A year ago, were we worried about where Juan Soto was going to play?
No, we were not. We were not at all. No.
That's where, because I was literally I'm right there with you.
It's a great point.
When I think about Tucker, it's
a
like,
fair
damn,
point.
bro, but he only could play right field and whatever like that, whatever. And then it dawned on me about a week and a half ago, like, but Francis, a year ago, you were saying, give the entire bank to Juan Soto. I don't give a shit what you have to do, whatever like that. And Soto can only play right field, and he's not even a good one. He's not even a good right fielder. And I was like, give him whatever he wants. Give him whatever. I don't care. Give him a car. Give him a jet. Give him whatever. Massage his feet. I didn't give a shit a year ago. I know. Now, I wasn't going to do the massage. It was probably going to be Booney, but whatever. I was like, literally a year ago, I was like, do whatever it takes to get this guy, and we play him in right, and I'll put up with Judge and center. I don't care. And then now a year later, I'm like, oh, I don't know, man. Kyle Tucker. And I'm like, wait, but Kyle Tucker is a better right fielder, way better right fielder than Juan Soto was. You know what? I'm like, why would I be hung up on this? Why would I allow the Yankees off the hook for not going after him and using that as an excuse when just a year ago, we offered over $700 million for a guy who can't play the position as well as this one can?
Facts.
That's when I said,
good point.
I said,
that's a fair point.
Tucker, he's still the move for me. Go for him. And again, you figure it out. He's one of those things, bro, where it's like, look, it is going to be a problem to figure out, but I'd rather be figuring out.
That's a great problem to have, though.
Yeah, I'd rather be trying to figure that out than some of the problems we currently have.
I did want to throw this at you because it's right there with Tucker again. A lot of Yankee fans, right? What they're saying is that Bellinger's a better fit. That's what you see out there a lot. People bring up Kyle Tucker to go, yeah, but Cody Bellinger, like, we seen him do it here. We know he could do it here. He had one of his better years in a long time as a New York Yankee. Cody Bellinger, what would you do? Why would you do that for? Why don't you just bring Cody Bellinger back then on maybe a shorter term deal and this and that? And what is your... I'm laughing already because I know France as well. What would be your response to that?
Because Cody Bellinger is not Kyle Tucker. That it's for me, it's very simple. As good as Cody Bellinger is, as good as Cody Bellinger was for the New York Yankees in 25, and as good of a fit as Cody Bellinger is, and I will give people that. Who is the better fit? Let's not say better. Who's the easier? I think is the better word. Who's the easier fit between Bellinger and Kyle Tucker? Bellinger, all the way. Why? Because he plays multiple positions. Because he plays center field. 2, he can play left field. 3, he can play first base. He's a Swiss Army knife, okay? He is the easier fit, and it's not even close. In the long run, who is going to perform better over their next contract? That's the question that I respond to those people with. Don't tell me about 2025. Don't tell me about the fit. Don't tell me about over the next contract that each of these guys signs. Who's going to perform better? That's the guy that I want. And as good as you think Cody was in 25, as good as you think he can be going forward for the Yankees, are you willing to stake your reputation on saying that he's going to outperform Kyle Tucker on their next contracts? Because I wouldn't.
No, I wouldn't either. And I'll even say something else I think people are going to maybe think is fairly controversial. How many people expect Cody Bellinger, if he did come back to the Yankees, to have the same year he had this year?
You know what's crazy? You see, you've watched a lot of baseball. You know baseball. You understand that you can't just put that on him. Too many of these fans don't get that. They're drinking the Yankee propaganda.
I mean, I would really like to even have the chat. You guys can chime in. I'll be happy to listen and read some of your responses here. How many people really believe if you brought Cody Bellinger back that he would have the same type of year, the 29 plus homer, 29 homers, have the solid year that he had? Who would think that would be consistent for him? Be like, yeah, I think he could continue to do that every year. I don't think that's a problem. I think Cody's kind of shown that, because the truth is he actually hasn't shown that. That's the problem. That's what scares me. There hasn't been a super level of consistency from Cody Bellinger. Now, he changed his approach quite a bit to not be a heavy strikeout guy anymore, and I respect that. Kind of chip away, put the ball in play. It worked out well for the Yankees. There's also, another side of this. I refuse to lock Cody Bellinger for 5+ seasons. If somebody told me you get Cody Bellinger back for 4, I'd say, you know what? If that's what the Yankees did, I'm not going to, rip my hair out and be upset about it. Mm-hmm. But if they ever gave him a 5 or 6 year deal, I'm going to be the first one to come on and be like, I don't like this. I'm sorry. I don't like this. Could it be a good move for the first couple of years? If we win, I'll be happy. But I have a problem. I have a problem considering you just lock that man in for 5 to 6+ years when there was still a better name out there that's available at around those same years.
My big thing with the
Now, Cody could play first base.
He definitely could.
And like leave him there. He could do that.
Another thing with Cody Bellinger too is like when I discuss Cody Bellinger in comparison to Kyle Tucker, I don't mean for it to sound disrespectful, but there are certain things that we can look. Somebody, as I'm about to say it, somebody in the chat puts it right there. You have to remember that these are different players. One, age. Tucker is 3 years younger than Cody Bellinger. That is 3 more years of prime that Cody Bellinger won't be able to offer the Yankees, where Kyle Tucker will. Okay.
And he's a serial killer.
Look, the numbers speak for themselves with Kyle Tucker. I don't think like the fact that bro, it's just crazy. And we spoke about this early in the episode, the damage that the media has been able to do to some Yankees fans, that you almost have to sit there and convince them about players like Bo Bichette and Kyle Tucker. It's ridiculous to me. Like, this used to be no-brainers where people just knew because they watched and they understood. Now you got Yankees fans that see a Kyle Tucker, see a Bo Bichette, and they're like questioning. They're like, yeah, but I don't know. I don't know.
It's brainwashed. They're brainwashed.
Might not work. And it's like, bro, what happened to this once great fan base?
Brainwashed. 100%. I've had a lot of people. I had a lot of people reach out to me when I talked about that because I was shocked when I saw so many Yankee fans talking about, well, we can't compete no more. It's not fair. I'm like, no, oh my God, like what has happened? And I want to go over the list of free agents real quick because I don't want to really miss anybody. I'll throw some names out there and I'll just ask you and we'll go from there. Catchers on free agency. Is that something you're even considering? Because I could give you the names. Let me throw some names out there. JT Realmuto.
Depends.
Victor Caratini, which actually would make sense.
Caratini makes a lot of sense.
He makes a lot of sense if Wells is still your catcher. Yep. Danny Jansen makes sense if Wells is your catcher. Christian Vasquez. Elias Diaz could make sense if Wells is your catcher. Gary Sanchez. Mitch Garver. Martin Maldonado retired, I believe he did. Jacob Stallings. There's really not, much out there. But yeah, that's kind of what's on that market.
Yeah. You will see, you'll what's it called? Like you'll see when you look at this catcher's market that it's JT Realmuto and then everyone else. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
correct.
And even Realmuto's he's older and there's not, Realmuto's next contract is not going to be a 10-year deal or whatever. Like that's not happening. So will he get paid respectfully? Yes, of course he will. But after Realmuto, it kind of drops off to your platoon candidate guys.
Yeah,
really quickly.
That's right.
Like
that's
to
right.
me, when I look at that list, the only one that's the everyday starter that like changes your lineup immediately is JT Realmuto. Everyone else is kind of platoon guys that change you a little bit on the peripheries. The reason that I said that me looking at catcher depends on another thing, which again, after me, there's a lot of things that when I look at the offseason, I realize that I'm like, I like the more I talk, there's going to be a side of people that really hate me and disagree with me.
That's all right.
After the Jazz Chisholm one,
join the club.
Exactly. After the Jazz Chisholm trade, I know half the people completely vehemently disagree. But the reason I also say that I don't consider catcher unless another trade happens is because the other trade that I'm thinking of involves Ben Rice.
Okay.
Now, if Ben Rice is moved, people will say, but Ben Rice is not your everyday catcher. What are you talking about? I was like, if I'm moving Ben Rice, right, and I don't have the ability to try and see more of him as our catcher and it's just Wells, then I am 1,000% bringing on another catcher, right?
Yeah.
If I'm moving Ben Rice, it is very clearly only for a certain type of player. And I mean, you could take your pick. The majority of them are pitchers, but there's one position player where I could also entertain that. And that's about it.
That is very intriguing, actually, because I think everybody can jump up and down and say, I know who that pitcher is.
They know the two pitchers. One of them is not getting traded this offseason. One of them most likely could be traded this offseason.
So who is the hitter that you would move him for?
The hitter is, again, there's mixed reports on whether or not this guy's actually going to be available or not. But if Ketel Marte is made available, I'm sorry, I have to kick the tires on that. This is a guy. I mean, do I even have to explain Ketel Marte? I mean,
shouldn't have to be fair.
You shouldn't have to, but I'll do it. I'll humor the people who don't get it.
Okay.
2 years ago, you guys saw that World Series. You saw what he did in that World Series. Yeah. You see what he means to the Arizona Diamondbacks. When he's on the field, when he's in that lineup, this is a dynamic player. This kid hits for power. He hits for contact. He gets on base. This guy is not an easy at bat. I mean, just fucking look. Can you just look at this shit? Do you see this?
Yep.
Are you guys looking at that? Sign me the fuck up.
I think the only, and knowing the Yankees, right, which is kind of weird to say this, the only thing that could deter them a little bit is, and I just feel like I know Brian Cashman in many ways, right? I believe Marte's contract goes to about 37 years old, 37 to 38, right? He would be what? Where would you put him? I mean, would he be immediately your second baseman? And then that's where you come up with the idea. Would you put Jazz in that trade? Is that what you would potentially do along
Jazz,
with the Ben Rice?
So for me, Jazz is in that trade because if they're remember, according to the rumors that are going on, and again, take this with a grain of salt. I'm not breaking any news here, and we don't do that, right? But the rumors that I have heard, right? Rumors that you guys can go on Twitter and also see, are that there was a bit of a disconnect with him and a couple guys in the clubhouse this year and maybe some of the people in leadership, right? Some people questioned his motor, his desire to actually want to be out there, whatever. Now, bear in mind, the 2025 Arizona Diamondback season was very, very tumultuous. It was very difficult. This was not an easy year, okay? So there were times where it got, batshit ugly over there in Arizona. So, yeah, if you're Ketel Marte, there might have been some days where it was hard to go out there and say, look, I've got these freaking pain. Like, why am I going to go out there and play through this pain right now? We fucking suck. We're not going anywhere. Like, why am I going to go out there, risk injuring myself even more for a season that we all know is completely lost or whatever like that? Do I love that in a player? Fuck no. Do I get it? Yes. Okay. Now, these are rumors. These are things or whatever. There's no confirmation on either side about any of these things. And I would be shocked if we ever got confirmation about this unless he was actually moved. All right. Because Arizona's pretty solid with these things. But Arizona's also in a time where they're in a bit of a transitional phase. They have not one, but two arms that are on the market right now. Yes. And that is immediately after their biggest arm was on the market last year.
Yep.
Okay, I mean, you go from losing Corbin Burns to possibly now losing Kelly and Gallen.
Gallen, yep.
Right there, right after. It's like, whoa.
Oh, they're losing Gallen. I don't think they're paying Gallen.
No, Gallen's gone.
He's a free agent.
And I would understand if you're Arizona why you would. Why it's gonna sound bad, but I'm not out on Gallen. I don't think Gallen's done. I'm not saying that. Do I want him on the Yankees? No, but I don't think he's done. It wouldn't shock me if he signed somewhere and has a great season next year. I don't think he's done. I think he had a bad year. People forget that can happen or whatever. But
yeah, of course.
I mean, remember Rodon's first year with us, and then look at him last year.
Yep.
These things happen. It wouldn't shock me if Gallen has a great year next year. Why I understand the Diamondbacks not paying him. Them investing more money right now into the team has to be calculated very, very, very intelligently. You currently play in the same division as the Dodgers. You currently play in the same division as the Padres. These are two teams that on paper are way better than you. Way better than you. If you're going to invest that kind of money in somebody, you have to be able to answer this question, yes. And the question is, does this player make us better than either of those guys or help us to compete with either one of those guys? And when I look at Zach Gallen, I'm sorry, but the answer is no. So why pay that guy?
Yeah.
And I don't think they're paying Kelly either. So now you're talking about in successive seasons losing 3/5 of a rotation that was World Series.
Right.
Which means they're in a transitional phase. Could they look to move on from that contract and possibly retool a little bit and catch a little bit of a breath the next 1 to 2 years while still being competitive enough to sell tickets and put people in the stadium or whatever? I could see that, which is why a Jazz Chisholm to me makes some sense. He wouldn't be the headliner of the deal, though. That's where Ben Rice's name comes into it, because Ben Rice is not the next 2 years. Ben Rice is going to be there a while. And he is somebody that you sure as shit can sell your fan base on, because we saw what he did for us this year. If he's playing every day over there, he's going to go freaking nuts. Okay.
Yeah.
He's going to hit the cover off the ball over there. He's going to become a fan favorite within 3 months over there. And they're going to look like amazing people for making that trade. Now, do I think it's just those two guys that go in that deal? No, I think they'd also want a young arm in that deal. So it's a lot. It costs a lot. But again, that's the only way that I entertain moving on from Ben Rice. It has to be either him or one of the two, Tarek Skubal or Paul Skeens. If it's not one of those three names, don't talk to me.
Yeah, I have a very, very, very hard time trying to even convince myself that Brian Cashman would do that. Or that Hal Steinbrenner would want to do that. Yeah. And, you know, I know we're trying to obviously be as realistic as humanly possible. And it's a realistic move, don't get me wrong, because he could be moved. Yeah. He could be traded. Yeah. If that deal were to happen, I agree. I think Jazz has to go. I think in that type of move, you do have to move Jazz Chisholm at that point.
You have to move the money.
I just have a hard time seeing Brian Cashman say, I traded for Jazz Chisholm when a lot of people were down on this player. He became the guy that we always thought he could be, and then I'm going to move him for somebody that's a little bit older.
Nope.
That is where I just see Brian Cashman being. Now, don't get me wrong. You look at Ketel Marte. I mean, I'll just read something to you guys. 3 years in a row here. 358, 372, 376. That's his on-base percentage. If the Yankees don't crave that or really need that, you're lying to yourself, because they desperately need that. The Yankees desperately need that right there. But
he's also
just
as clutch as possible.
If it was a Dave Dombrowski as our GM, maybe even an Omar Minaya as our GM, I'd be like, you know what? I could see that.
Yeah.
I can't sit here and remember times where Brian Cashman traded for somebody and they played really good ball and they were like, yeah, you know, I traded for this guy, I proved other people wrong, and now I'm gonna move him.
Exactly. No, again, when I bring up the Jazz Chisholm stuff, I tell you, it's something that I know has a very low possibility. But I know that part of what I'm saying has a very high possibility, which is that I don't see them extending him long term. I could very well see the world where they don't.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's the reason why I would rather trade him right now when his value is the highest. Because what I see as the most likely outcome with Jazz Chisholm is him walking in free agency at the end of next year. Like him playing a very good, solid season in 2026 for us, the Yankees saying that they have interest in signing him as the season ends, and then him going out there and getting a higher offer from somewhere else and taking the money and running.
Yeah, I could definitely see that. I mean, look, if they have that idea, Jazz, and that's why for me personally, I hold on to Jazz, and at the deadline, if things are struggling, yeah, I seriously, you have to move him at that point. You can't make that mistake again to try to hold on to him. Got to go ahead and move him on from there. But moving on to possible first basemen. I don't know if you'll have any interest in these guys or the chat. Pete Alonso is going to be out there. Good old Pete Alonso. I don't know why he just don't stay as a Met for good. Just lock it in long term. Get done with it already. Josh Naylor is a name that a lot of Yankee fans are talking about, and I got a problem with it. Francis, I got a problem with it.
Okay, let me hear your problem with Josh Naylor. I don't like Josh Naylor at all.
My problem is
I personally do not like the guy, but I want to.
My problem is very, very simple. And by the way, I think there was somebody in the chat that said this is why I can't take this channel seriously. Then brother, there's the door. You don't have to listen. Just because one person has an opinion of a move doesn't, first of all, it doesn't speak for the entire channel, one, and two, everybody's allowed to have their opinions. If you don't like the channel, brother, you know the door's that way. You can go see it, because I look up, there's 53,000+ people here that enjoy this channel, and I guarantee by next year there's probably going to be another 15 to 20,000+ more, depending on the stuff we're working on too, maybe even more than that. So anyway, if you don't like the channel, you don't got to announce it in the chat. You could be happy just to see yourself out. But here's my thing when it comes to Naylor, and I'm going to keep it very, very simple. Why, again, are we settling with less? Why are we settling for like a C? Ben fucking Rice is on your team.
Exactly.
If that's the case, just say, Benny, take over first base. We're going to work with you, brother. We'll work with you. We'll get the defense. We'll work on your legs. Because here's one thing I'll say about Ben Rice. Francis, you could, again, say I'm wrong or whatever opinion you have, obviously. Do you think Ben Rice could become an above average defensive third baseman?
Third baseman?
I'm first baseman. I'm sorry. First baseman. I'm sorry. My bad.
I was like, damn. That's
yeah, not that. No, I wouldn't. No, never.
A pretty clear no for me.
Yeah,
but
clear no for me too, by the way.
Above average first baseman?
Yes.
I mean, he's so freaking young. Yeah.
And he's athletic.
Yeah.
He's an athletic guy. He
He's
moves
not out of
well.
shape at all. He's in great
Not out of
shape
shape at all. It's fairly obvious that the thing about Ben Rice is he just needs the reps. He needs somebody to work on him on his footwork. That's what he needs. He needs help with the footwork side of things to be a better first baseman. But again, why would we allocate funds to a player that we got one better already? Why would we have to go out there and go, hey, Naylor, cool, you do get on base. You're pretty decent at first base. You do hit the long ball. But why would we do that when we've already seen Ben Rice do it? Is Ben Rice a better player than Josh Naylor?
I mean, I think you could make the argument that he is.
I mean, can you guys tell me? If it was between Ben Rice and Naylor, who would you choose?
And to be honest, we're 1 year away from that not even being a question.
And that.
If Ben Rice repeats 2025 across all of 2026, it's not even a question. It's not a conversation anymore.
And that's my thing. I'm like, if you're sitting down at the table going, how are we going to build this club? And I've seen a lot. I've been asked 20 times about Naylor to the Yankees. I'm like, why? But why exactly?
But he's also Canadian. All right? And he's ugly. Sorry. It had to be said. It just had to be said. Do me a favor. Smash that like button. Like and subscribe. Okay? All right?
Well, there you go, damn it. All right? That's just Francis' payback too.
I don't like
that's
Josh
for
Naylor.
Vladdy.
Yeah, that's for Vladdy. I'm sorry. I don't like Josh Naylor from his Cleveland Guardians days. But what I will say about Josh Naylor is this. I was joking before, but what I will say about Josh Naylor is this. He's one of those guys that you absolutely positively cannot stomach him. You can't stand him when he plays on the other team. I think when he's on your team, you absolutely love him. He's one of those guys that he's polarizing. So
yo, this dude in the chat, Joe Matumbo, said, I hope I said your name right, Joe. You guys don't want Patrick Mahomes. Why are we like this?
He does look like he does look like he ate Patrick Mahomes.
Hey, bam. Kev says, Pete, please pull up Ben Savant. These numbers don't grow on trees. I got no problem doing that, brother, because that's a serial killer. Come on, guys. Like again, man. What? Don't do extra. You know what they say? Work smarter, not harder. There you go. Somebody goes, yeah, but I like what's. Come on. Why?
It's keep it simple. My thing is like this. Look, keep it simple.
Keep it simple, baby.
Keep it simple. The Yankees struggle to do that at times, though, and I think that's the problem.
No doubt about it. Second base. I don't think we're looking at free agencies there. We're not looking at a reunion with Gleyber Torres. I'm pretty sure that's the case.
I mean, I would be. No, I'm fucking with you.
Oh my God, please no. Brendan Lowe is a guy the Yankees have liked for a long time. So he is a free agent. Just throwing these things out there to everybody. Just want you guys to understand that. There was a name. Was it here? No, it's at shortstop that I want to throw somebody out there. There is a free agent on here that we had. Ahmed Rosario. Who would I be open to seeing him come back? I'd be okay with a one-year deal on Ahmed Rosario to platoon with McMahon at third base. I wouldn't be too upset with that.
I think the thing with Ahmed that gets difficult, and this is why it took us so long to secure him and bring him to the Yankees, is that Ahmed is one of those guys that always finds somewhere where he's going to start. And I think that's the trick with him is that if he gets an opportunity to start somewhere, he's going to prioritize that over being a platoon or a bench guy elsewhere. But I think that for us, we are better served if we can sign him and have him as the platoon or bench guy.
I love him. I love him.
Me too. I love having I feel like he makes us so much more versatile. But
we talked about him a lot in the offseason last year. That he was still out there. It's like that solves a pretty decent problem for you at third base. You can just bring him back. But that is obviously
Cashman loves him. Cashman's loved him for a long time.
And he finally got him, which is something about Cashman you always keep your eyes on. There's players he likes and he eventually would get them. Shortstop. is very, very interesting because right now your starting shortstop is Jose Caballero. Like that is locked in as what it would be on paper right now.
Your opening day shortstop is Cab.
Your opening day shortstop would be him. Now, this is the area where I almost feel like Yankee fans are most divided, which is kind of crazy because anybody, I've done this test plenty of times and it's always the same conclusion. I ask people a lot, where is the area of need that the New York Yankees become a much better team? You know, where do they become a much better team? You know, what do they do to become a much better team? So on and so forth, right?
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of people immediately jump to shortstop. They say, hey, shortstop is the area we get a lot better. Some people say center field. Some people say, you know, left field or whatever. But shortstop's always part of the question.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the Yankees have kind of come out there and said that, hey, you know, we expect Anthony Volpe to come back and be, you know, ready to go. Anthony Volpe's under contract. I would highly doubt the Yankees are going to sit there and go, yeah, you know, we're probably going to look to replace Anthony Volpe as shortstop. They're not going to say that, one. But two, Brian Cashman didn't necessarily seem as sold as Aaron Boone did, of saying that he was kind of more along the lines of, well, he'll be out for a little bit and, you know, you got to see how the recovery is, but we'd expect that he would be the shortstop for the team. You know, not kind of just locking that in. Bo Bichette's a free agent. I mean, I know we talked about this already. This is not hard at all. I would hate to see the Yankees.
It's simple.
And exact, that's it right there. That is so it right there. It's like, bro, that is the most simple thing to do. It's money and conversations, and it's a lock, and you're set. Now, I've mentioned this before. People go, yeah, but what do you do with Anthony Volpe then? You can
throw him off the George Washington Bridge. I don't know.
Yeah, whatever it is, but you can even save. If you're that organization, like, I got to save face somehow. Save face and say, look, maybe there's still a spot for Anthony Volpe, but, you know, whatever the hell it might be. But again, Bichette is obviously the go-to. I would hate to see the Yankees settle on Orlando Arcia or somebody along the lines to go along and pair with Jose Caballero. But Francis, answer me this. Is that not a Brian Cashman thing to do? Because if you remember, before they got Caballero and before Orlando Arcia went to Colorado, I think it was, the Yankees were talking about him to bring him on. Why is it to me that Orlando Arcia, for some reason, just feels like the most Brian Cashman move to make, to say he's going to be the guy we're going to go along with Jose Caballero to start the year, instead of simply just saying, let's go spend money on one of the best hitters in the game in Bo Bichette?
I can't argue with that. It's 1000% a Brian Cashman move. Whether I want to admit it or not or whatever. I mean, I feel like I don't know how anybody can argue with that.
I don't think you can. I really don't think you can argue that.
When we bring up Bo Bichette or whatever, I think we both do that knowing that, unfortunately, that's just not. It's not been a Yankee move. It just hasn't. No, Bo Bichette hasn't been the kind of move that the Yankees make. And I know that they traded for Soto, and I know that they signed Max Fried. I know all these things that they've done in recent years or whatever. I'm not that. Those are very different. Signing Bo Bichette now is a very, very different move for the Yankees. It goes against the grain that this team has been the last 8-9 years, because it's immediately it's publicly and immediately admitting defeat on Anthony Volpe. Like they wouldn't have to say it, but bro, it's obvious, clear as day. You're admitting it didn't work with Volpe. If you pay a shortstop $200-something million plus to come over here, over $300 million, whatever it's going to be, yeah, you're admitting that the Volpe thing didn't work. Okay, like you're doing that, and you're hitting the eject button on a prospect highly touted after just 3 years. The Yankees don't do that, guys.
It's so upsetting, man, because, you know, there's so many times where I don't want to be that guy that's going to come out there and talk about, yeah, but, you know, George would have loved this type of situation. And George is gone. George is gone. George is never coming back. We all understand that. You know, it's always going to be a thing with the Yankees. I understand that too. But those are the things that should have never left. Those are the type of things that Hal Steinbrenner can still do without even having to be a fan necessarily. It's still about strategy. You're taking them away from a team that could very well threaten to be right back where they finished this year. and be above you and your club. Boston is going to be a much better team.
Roman Anthony's coming back.
Roman Anthony's coming back. They've actually apparently committed to spending money this offseason, which they haven't necessarily done the last couple of years. They're saying that's what they're saying. Who knows what happens? But
I mean, that could just be on bringing back Bregman and Story, but
yeah, of course, it could very well be that. But it's the most obvious move to make. And again, we're here having debates if it's going to happen. Third base is an interesting one because again, it's another Brian Cashman signing. Brian McMahon did not do great with the bat with the Yankees. I do have a suggestion for him. I do, and the Yankees. I just believe he needs to be a dead pull hitter as the Yankees, and that is it. Those inside pitches you can't miss, can't be late. You got to be somebody has to work with him and say, as a Yankee, bro, you're the type of player at right field you need to own. Just drive the ball to right field. Many times you might have lineouts. Who cares? Hit 20 plus homers, drive the ball out to right field, play great defense. Here's my question to you.
It's pretty simple. And he's batting in the bottom of the lineup. It's not rocket science.
That's what I'm saying. It's not like you got to go crazy here.
Yeah.
Is there a third baseman free agent? And I'll give you a couple of the names that you would say, yeah, I'd put the money in to bring that person over. The three main ones, I'll read them out to you. Obviously, you know these guys. Alex Bregman, Eugenio Suarez, Gino, and Max Muncy. Is there anybody there that you would say, you know what? I'd find a player. I'd find a team that I can make it. You could trade for Ryan McMahon. It's not like Ryan McMahon is the worst player ever. Teams would take him. No doubt about it. They'd probably take his whole contract too and just give you something for him and get him. I don't think he's that type of player that people will be like, nah, I can't touch this dude. Oh, and Okamoto is also out there too. Is there any of those guys where you'd be like, bring them over because that's who I'd want? And Okamoto, by the way, is like fourth on my list, just so everybody's aware.
Bregman? I mean, I literally sit here saying like, oh, Francis, don't say it. But it's like, no, I can't not say it. Like, yeah, I would love to have Alex Bregman on the New York Yankees. I would love to take Alex Bregman off of the Boston Red Sox. I saw what he did in Boston last year, and I was like, I mean, does this shock anybody? Is this surprising to anybody? Why? Because he had a down year or two in Houston. You thought that was it. He was cooked or whatever. Alex Bregman is a freaking baller. Mm-hmm. He's a freaking baller. Mm-hmm. He shows up. He's a clutch hitter. He's a tough at bat. He's also been there and freaking done it in the World Series.
Yep.
We don't have a lot of that on this team right now. I like Alex Bregman. I love Alex Bregman, and I think that Alex Bregman would love being a freaking Yankee. Are the Yankees going to spend that money? Fuck no. But yeah, he's the one that I would. Gino and Max Muncy, no. But Bregman, I 1,000% would.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Noda, 35-year-old Max Muncy. I agree.
No. I'm not shitting on Muncy either. Respect to Muncy. He's got it done for a very long time.
Yep.
But no. Muncy, Muncy would be, I know there would be times throughout the year, like May, June, July, where he'd be driving me crazy.
Now, I'll be real with everybody. I'm going to say it just like this. I said it earlier, and I'll say it again.
I'm going to say it again.
I'll say it again, damn it. I'll say it again. I don't believe the Yankees get Tucker. Yeah. I said that before, right? I don't think they get Tucker. I think they're going to have a hard time doing that. I would set my club up in a way where after about 2 trades or 2 free agent signings, maybe 3 free agent signings, I can own the trade deadline. I can own, not the deadline, excuse me. I can just own the trade market. Any big name comes available, we can get our hands on him. Okamoto is a guy I would seriously consider replacing Ryan McMahon with.
They definitely.
I would seriously consider bringing Okamoto in full time because Okamoto is the type of player that, again, has won 2 Gold Gloves at third base. He's won a Gold Glove at first base. He's the type of player where I can sit there and go, and then I know some people are going to say, hey, Pete, but can you just go for more defense and say maybe you keep McMahon at third base and just put Okamoto at first? Why not? Fine. But Ben Rice becomes your regular catcher, and you got to be okay with that, and you got to figure it out, and you got to make that work because now, Francis, you're talking about an infield of potentially, based on the way I have this set, Okamoto, Bichette, Jazz, Rice, or McMahon, Bichette, Jazz, Akamoto.
He gives you both of those. You would see both of those lineups.
That's what I'm saying. You'd have, So you could do a couple of things. You say, do we want to save money? Can we get somebody to take Ryan McMahon's contract? Yes, I definitely think you can. And you could still have Jose Caballero, who could play third base. You got Ahmed Razar, if you brought him back. He could play third base. You got other options that can be moved around. Now, a lot of people might sit there and say, well, I'd rather he play first and Ben Rice plays third because it gives you the better overall defense. And it gives you that
vice versa. You put Ben Rice at third twice today.
I'm sorry. I don't know why the hell I'm doing that so much. But yeah, you would put Ben Rice at catcher, and then Akamoto will play first base, and then McMahon will play third base. So it will give you the possibility of that. It's probably easier to navigate day in and day out if that was the case. But either way you go with that, I'm okay with it. And now everybody's going to sit there and go, yeah, Pete, but what the hell do you do with the outfield? You got 2 outfield spots open. Well, first of all, you got Dominguez and you got Spencer Jones. But you could trade for stop looking at me, Quan. You could trade for Quan. Yeah. And let's be honest. We don't know what outfield is going to be available. You don't think the Yankees could trade for 2 outfielders if they wanted to? You don't think there could be a top name available that we don't know about? I'll give you another one. You ready for this? There's a center fielder that plays in Minnesota. Probably going to be traded.
It's true. A lot of injury concerns.
A lot of injuries.
Concerns.
Hey,
but
let me tell you this, though.
When he's healthy.
If you added that infield, bring him on board. Test him. I don't give a shit. Quan's available, too.
When he's healthy. Listen, Quan, I did that on this podcast a million times.
You did all about Quan.
I
argued with you about is he really that much better than Dominguez offensively, though? You're not paying him. No. But let me just put my foot on the map here. If the Yankees simply just said, remember how easy this is, which this is never going to happen, but I'm just going to have fun here. Imai, starting pitcher. Akamoto, third or first. Bichette. That's all I want them to do in free agency. Sounds crazy, but they could do it. Sounds nuts because, again, a lot of people with the Japanese players like, come on, man, they're going to go to, and now even more so. Murakami was like, man, what a baseball game that was. He tweeted it. He was like, what a game that was. Wink, wink. I can't wait to do it next year.
Bro.
So I get where everybody's at. And again, this is what Pete would do because now I'm thinking strategy. Yeah. And from there, I'm going, damn, I got all these pitchers I could trade. I got all these outfielders. I got all these players I could deal. Well, who's out there? Who do we want? Let's have conversations.
Also, that payroll comes in a lot lower than.
Yes, it does.
The
it's not
310 that you brought up earlier. That payroll would be
290s, probably 290s, 293, 292.
Yeah, it's maybe 285.
Could be around 285. Exactly. And look, that's why I said I'm trying to be as realistic as possible when I see it. Because again, now somebody's gonna say, yeah, P, but it's not realistic because the Yankees aren't gonna get them. Yeah, but I'm doing this for me on what would be easy to do. I don't know who the trades are. I don't know who's going to be out there that they could trade for. But
the market hasn't shaped up yet. We can't even really.
Exactly. And I'm not asking for crazy, crazy deals here. Like, it shouldn't be a situation where New York, of all cities, are not attractive to Japanese players. Mind you, let me repeat something here. New York. That should not be not attractive to Japanese players. I understand the West Coast is attractive, and I also understand the West Coast, the Dodgers have, they have the Japanese Babe Ruth, they got Yamamoto, and they've won 2 World Series in a row. I get it. And they're probably going to go back next year. I know that's attractive. But Lord have mercy, man. There's got to be somebody in the Yankees organization, Tanaka, Matsui, Manami, somebody that can say, hey, look, we want to make you the face of Japanese baseball here in New York. Nobody's gonna blow past Shohei Ohtani. Hell, he could make an argument he's the face of baseball. But Lord have mercy. Like, this is New York City, mind you. Do you know that all that Japanese sponsorship and endorsement, it's going to go to you in New York?
Jersey sales.
This is a huge Japanese market.
Commercials,
How do you
sponsorship.
not get back in that pool? I don't get it. There's got to be a way that they could say, look, man, come on. Like, why would you not want to be? And we're going to pay you. We'll top it. Whatever it is, let's get this done. That's just my problem, man. Like, I have a hard time. People are going to say, P, you're ignorant then because, come on, man, you know what they're going to do. Yeah, but I have a hard time believing that they can't make that happen.
But there's also, I think there's also people also have to be realistic too. Like, I get it. That's been the narrative. Like, oh, well, all the Japanese superstars are going to go to the Dodgers. Yeah, but
it's also not true.
How many Japanese superstars can really go there realistically?
True. But also you got to remember.
There's 9 positions on the field. Like,
where did Senga go?
Exactly.
Where did, what's his name?
Suzuki.
Seiya Suzuki go? Where did the lefty on the Cubs go? Starting pitcher. I don't know why I always draw a blank on his name. Me too. I always blank on his name now. I don't know why.
Please somebody put in the chat because I'm gonna be annoyed.
No, bro. I've done this like 3. Imanaga.
Shota.
Imanaga. I'm like, I get it. Not every player can go
also,
there.
the Red Sox, Yoshi.
I mean, Murakami,
yeah,
I think
there
could be a strong chance Murakami goes there but again.
Yes, Murakami, yes.
He can't DH unless Ohtani decides I'm going to play the outfield now. He can't DH. And let me tell you something.
That's what I'm saying, though.
No major league team, I believe, is putting that man at third base. He is horrible.
No, but again, this is my point. Again, it's like, people also have to be realistic because you think about, okay, you can't just say, yeah, they're all going to go to the Dodgers, obviously. Whatever. Yes, if it makes sense. Like if it's a pitcher and they have an opening at pitcher, yes, right? But right now, do they have an opening at first base? No. They have an opening. You could say they have an opening at third base. Okay, maybe. But like you said, are they going to put him at third base? They're not going to put him at third base. We know that. Can you say now Okamoto? Could that be a situation where they say, well, we can put him at third base? Yeah. That scares me a lot more. But come on, man.
Super chat here from our good friend Ronnie. It's like this. F Belly and Tucker. Adios to McMahon and Volpe. Let Jones and Martian and Judge be in the outfield. Sign Bregman and Bo for third base and shortstop. Keep Jazz at second. We're winning the World Series. That's a way of looking at it.
Okay.
That's a way of looking at it. Now, do I think that's the best options for the Yankees? No. You've heard my opinions today of it. But I think let me show you guys something crazy here that Ronnie just did, right? Ronnie looked at the Yankees and said, who can we get for money to have maybe the biggest impact for us? And he said, third base has not been good offensively and shortstop has been missing. And I just put 2 much better players there. We should be a better team. And he's not wrong.
Nope.
They would be a better team. No doubt about it. Crackle Nut says, Japanese players are scared to come to NY because when they see Cracklezilla, they cannot defeat me. Go get Bregman. He is a gamer. And Bo Bronx. Well, they both agree with one another there. So very, very interesting. But that doesn't make sense. I understand where Ronnie is coming. To finish up here, left field, you got Lourdes Gurriel Jr. could opt out of his deal. Rob Refsnyder, Tyler O'Neill, literal garbage. I don't think the Yankees go that route. Center field, Cody Bellinger, Harrison Bader. Could there be a return there? Who knows? Trent Grisham. Could there be a return there? Who knows? We know, the Yankees absolutely love Trent Grisham, but I just believe somebody's going to give him a lot more money. Luis Robert. What do you think about that one? A lot of people are talking about him as a possibility for many clubs. The Mets have talked about him for a while. There's a lot of Yankee fans who believe there's a chance there.
I would entertain it. I would entertain it. Here, I tell you this. I would entertain it. I don't think it's gonna cost anything crazy. I don't.
No, it shouldn't. He hasn't done nothing.
I would entertain. I mean, these young kids, bro. At the end of the day, it's tough for me to just be like, yeah, I don't know, this guy's cooked or whatever. Like, I mean, he's young, man.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I would entertain it. Why not? I mean, but again, I gotta be realistic. Also, like, I would entertain it if some of the earlier moves I spoke about went through. Like, if I added,
yeah, of course, it really depends on the offseason.
Like, yeah, for sure. But it's tough. And again, right now we're speaking, but. We're spitballing here. There's still an entire trade market that needs to materialize and take shape for us to really start having conversations and really start pinpointing things. Because when you start naming the Stephen Kwans of the world and stuff like that or whatever, that to me would put my entire offseason plan almost on its head, because Stephen Kwan probably immediately becomes like my second priority, which is going to be would sound crazy to people. But if Stephen Kwan became available, Bo Bronx is my number one. Stephen Kwan is my number two via the trade. And then I completely ignore that Kyle Tucker exists and I re-sign Belly. That's if I can get Stephen Kwan, if that's a real possibility, then I ignore Tucker completely.
And that's like, and we've talked about that a lot. Like that, it's like, see, for me too, Stephen Kwan then becomes an asset. Like if they made the moves that I liked when I said, you go out there, you get Bo, you get Ime, and you get somebody like Akamoto, and now you got the whole new infield setup, but then you got so many trade options. To me, Kwan then does become realistic.
Exactly.
Where I'm like, and this is gonna sound crazy. I hate saying this guy. I love Jason Dominguez, but the Yankees do not love Jason Dominguez. So I'm not gonna play stupid here.
It's just being
they
honest.
don't like him. I would let him go to Cleveland. And let me tell you something. The kid could be an all-star in Cleveland really quick. But I would let him just go to Cleveland and make him a headliner potentially in that type of deal for a Stephen Kwan. That would make a lot of sense. A couple of more names I do want to just throw out there before I have a big NYU announcement. A lot of you guys already know, but I know there's a lot of people they got a lot of new people since the playoffs started. I want to mention it one more time. Kyle Schwarber, of course, is out there. We know that's a big DH name. There's a lot of starting pitchers that could be available. Michael King is a name that is getting a lot of attention again from the Yankees. Dylan Cease is a guy I've liked for years. Framber Valdez, even names like Chris Bassett is out there. Zach Gallen is out there.
He always pitches well against us.
All these guys are out there. So, I'll run that one by. It's funny. I'll just read the super chat real quick. This is from David Miser. For me now, keep the players the same. Sign Bo and Bellinger and bring up all the kids. Let them play a year or two with Jason and Jones. Sign Michael King. And there you go. So I've seen that a lot online now, Yankee side of things. Bring Michael King back. I like Michael King, don't get me wrong, but if somebody were to say you got to choose between Michael King and Ime, I'm going Ime.
Somebody in the chat just made me laugh. They said, I've been reading the chat a lot for the whatever, because like people are funny. And someone just said, Murakami eats too much. You remember a couple years ago when you were like, look, man, I like this kid a lot. The pop is there, but this guy can eat. I was looking at his Instagram.
Bro, he's an 80 on power grade. There's no doubt about that. The dude has insane pop.
He does.
There's just been a lot of concerns with him. He strikes out too much. Yeah. Yes. And the weight. And the weight got so bad they sent him down.
Yeah.
This is a guy that broke the all-time home run record. They were like, bro, he's like our guy, Eric Sim. Shohei when he does Shohei Blotani.
Shohei Blotani.
When he does Shohei Blotani, it's kind of similar. It's like, I don't know if we need Shohei Blotani on this team, to be honest. I can't even pitch. So,
shout out to Eric Sim, bro. But
that's my guy, man. That's my guy. That is my guy.
That's wild, bro. Like, bro, it's just funny because I'm thinking back to like 2 years ago when you were telling people like, yo, be careful. You bring that guy to New York, man. There's a lot of places to eat over here. Like he's gonna go.
Oh my God, I missed a huge one that I wanted to ask you about.
Oh, let's talk about it. We ain't going.
And this is my fault because I don't always put a major focus in the bullpen, and I'm always not like, oh my God, we got to go spend money there. I'm not a fan of spending money in the bullpen. That wouldn't be my way of a GM.
Yes,
I gotta ask you about Edwin Diaz.
I knew you were coming with that. Yep. You already kind of said it. I'm not of the belief of paying closers. I think that the last time the Yankees paid a closer, his name was Aroldis Chapman. We saw how that went. He's currently in Boston saying that the Yankees disrespected him. Go figure. I'm sorry. They're too volatile. And at the end of the day, the game has evolved and changed so much that they just can't be as dominant as they used to be. Look at Devin Williams. Literally, look at Devin Williams. A year ago, this was one of the two best closers in the game. And a year later, I would say 80% of this fan base wants no parts of the guy because of one season. Imagine you signed him to a 5-year deal
Believe
after
it or
last
not,
year.
I got to disagree with you on something.
You would pay Edwin Diaz?
No.
Oh,
I'm gonna disagree with you on something. I
Oh,
don't
that
believe.
people
I
want
don't
him back.
believe. I don't believe 80% of Yankee fans do not want Devin Williams back. I actually believe they're brainwashed
Oh no.
because this narrative by Michael Kay and everybody was, well, since this date, he's been really good. The guy had his worst year ever, ever, ever. You do not sign Devin Williams to a multi-year deal. And there's also some clubhouse rumors. I know we just saw Aaron Judge being buddy-buddy and hanging out with him.
Whatever.
Whatever.
They went to
It is what
they
it
went
is.
to a Nick.
They went to a game together.
They went to a
whatever,
Nick game. People put so much stock into that shit.
Folks, I want no part of Devin Williams. And let me just say something here. I got to experience the Devin Williams experience. I finally got to experience because Pete Simonetti loved Devin Williams when he was a Brewer. Loved Devin. Whoa, man, Devin Williams. Oh my God. Me and Francis were live on All Rise. They just got Devin Williams. I can't believe it. We're going bananas.
One of the greatest moments of All Rise, and look at how that
We
turned out.
went nuts. And by May, me and Francois saying, I don't know, they might have to trade him.
Bro,
We're sitting there going, I think they might have to trade this guy.
Ass, bro. It was like,
And there's Yankee fans that are like, bring him back. Are you crazy? I'm sitting there going, look, if they somehow came across a 1-year deal and it was like 1 year, 10 million, I wouldn't be as angry. I still wouldn't do it, but I wouldn't rip my hair out about it and bitch about it. I'd be like, all right, man, look, 1 year, whatever. If he's not the closer, he won't be the closer. Bednar's the guy. All right, cool, whatever. No big deal. If the Yankees ever said we're going to give this dude like three years, I'd be like, are you fucking mad? Like, what are we doing here? Why?
I can't. Again, this is my thing. I can't get with signing closers to closer money. And the problem is that they want the money. Like they want the money. They're gonna tell you that they led the league in saves this 1 year, that they struck out this many guys, that they produced this well in high leverage or whatever, and they think that, hey, everybody else is getting paid. We need to get ours too. I get it. But more and more, I look at closers the way that the NFL looks at running backs. It's like it's money badly spent. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
If you're signing them to a long-term deal for big money, you're making a mistake. Why? Because just like running backs in the NFL, you can get similar production cheaper and younger. So I just feel like I just feel like it would be again, bro. We literally. I mean, you remember a couple years ago where we were sitting there telling people, well, yeah, the Yankees saying that they don't have the money to spend, but they're paying $18 million to roll this Chapman.
Yes, we talked about that a lot. And by the way,
and you think
Kev
Diaz is not going to want Chapman money?
Our Kev, by the way, here at NYU, I know he has a burner account out there that is like Devin Williams resurgence bandwagon or something. There is a resurgence account of Devin Williams that is being ran by Kev
Cruz
somewhere. Kev Cruz loves him. Some Devin Williams, I'm telling you, man, he absolutely loves him. David Mize has also questioned both of you to answer. Do you think we should sign players going forward that don't strike out as much now? Stop looking at OPS plus. No, you don't got to stop looking at OPS plus you don't got to stop doing that. But should the Yankees, again, strikeouts aren't a problem. The problem is you got a 1 through 9 that does it. That becomes the issue when you got so many players who strike out. You can have guys that strike out, they produce in other ways, in my opinion. Kev then adds in, Pete, send Count Dracula to Devin's crib if he is back. Let me tell you something. The Count is a good friend of mine, all right? And he will be back. He already made the announcement. He will be back in October 2026. So stay tuned for that. The Count will return in October of 2026. So I feel like we covered the majority of free agents out there. We kind of had a little bit of different plans, but look, will the Yankees follow any of these plans? Probably not. But we'll have you guys covered really completely. This offseason is going to be crazy. The announcement, a lot of you already know this. I just know there's a lot of people who do not, is as you guys know, Pete Simonetti and wife, we're welcoming a baby into the world. Hopefully, end of December. If not, the earliest, I'm not going to say a year. I said stop bringing that into the world. December. Baby will be here in December, okay? It's not going to take away from my time here with you guys. We are going to go full on like we always do, podcast, all that fun stuff, as much as humanly possible. The other announcement I have, you guys already know too, we're moving into a studio next year. Now, the reason I bring that up is because we are making a huge jump here at NYYU, and I wanted to actually say thank you to all of you, because the reason why I have confidence in making this move and making this jump the way we're doing is because of the love and the support that you guys have shown us. If it was not for this community and the growth that we're having here at NYYU, I would simply sit back and say, I could just keep doing it like this and, it's okay. It's going to keep growing, and then we could do it when we feel a little more safe. No, I like to take risk, and we're taking a big risk here. It's going to be an amazing thing that we're doing. New logos, updated logos are already being made. They're already, I already have them. Some of the Founders Club members, you guys have seen that today. I sent some emails out. I'm still sending those. So some of you Founding Club members already got the emails of the new logos we got. This show specifically, I just want to say this show specifically next year is gonna really go nuts. Like, Designated Spitters is gonna go really hard next year. We got a logo that's coming out that is very, very different from this one, and this logo is stupid. But there it goes. Frank just said, I love the new DS logo. That ain't even done. That is just a mock-up and a sample of it. It's gonna be nuts. Our merchandise is absolutely fire. I'll have a preview of that coming out probably on Monday. Yes, we call the WBC. Hopefully me, Francis, and Kev can get together to that and do that. It's going to be unbelievable. Founders members, one more thing I want to throw out there, because we do have a gold founder. Our good friend Dozer Phase in the chat was very nice. So he's paid about halfway to being a gold member, but he said he can't do it. He's not going to be. He wants to give that towards somebody else that can cover the rest of it. If anybody is interested in becoming a gold member of our Founders Club, if you're a silver member and you want to move up, whatever, let me know. Email me, nyunderground@yahoo.com. It's one of the biggest things that this community is doing to help us make this move and get all the equipment and things we need. Because when I tell you guys that we're making this jump, we're not just making this jump like, hey, look, yeah, we did know. We're changing shit up. Things are going to be very different. And it's going to be awesome. It's going to be amazing. So yeah, man, I just wanted to throw it out there and say thank you guys. We appreciate you. It's been an amazing year this year. We're not stopping. We don't slow down. We're going to have our podcast, all of our shows. And yeah, I think 2026 is the year of NYYU.
Has to be, man. The time is coming, and unlike the Yankees, we show up in the clutch. So we ready. We ready. We're ready for.
I didn't do all that.
We're ready for the moment. Hey, had to be said. Sorry, had to be said.
Some things have to be said. You know what I mean? Some things have to be said. Boxing Talk says, what does a Jazz Chisholm contract look like? And how do you feel about Bichette at third base for us? I don't know how much I know. Ronnie, I got you, brother. I sent out about half of them today. I'll send out the rest of them either tonight or tomorrow morning. I don't know what Jazz's contract. I think Jazz could be a pain in the ass when it comes to that. And that's not a knock on Jazz.
No, I spoke about it earlier.
Yeah,
he's going to value himself very high, bro. He's going to.
I'm trying to get like a comp off the top of my head of what a comp for him would be.
What I'm doing right now is pulling up his age. I don't want to be wrong on that.
I think he's 27, isn't he?
He's 27 years old. He'll be 28 at the start of next season. So
he is basically the same age as Bo.
Yeah, he'd be signing a contract for his age 29. The first year of his contract would be his age 29 year. So, okay, solid. So then here's what I'm going to look at. I'm going to pull up a contract, and I'm not going to say the name until I have the contract up, right? Because I think this is a good comp, and he'll probably get around this, maybe a little bit less. All right, so Marcus Semien. Marcus Semien
does feel like a good comp.
Marcus Semien signed a 7-year, $175 million contract with the Rangers a couple years ago. You can make the argument that Jazz doesn't have the exact same accolades as a Marcus Semien, but inflation is a real thing, and the market does go increasing. So,
of course.
like Marcus Semien having the same resume going into free agency a year from now, he would have gotten more than that contract. So 7 years, 175, you're looking at a 25 million AAV. I see Jazz around there. I see Jazz anywhere from 25 to 27 million on the high end. I don't see him getting 30 million a year. I think that would be a vast overpay for a second baseman. Regardless of how athletic he is and what he does with the bat, I just think 30 million is a ridiculous amount of money. Yeah, I could see it. I could see maybe, you know what? At 29 years, maybe the one thing that Jazz gets up over Semien is the extra year to get to 200. But that's where I see him, about from anywhere from 175 to about 200, maybe 215 on the high end, and anywhere from 7 to 8 years.
Let me ask the chat a question. If that were the number, would you be willing to sign that right now?
Me?
Yeah, I'm you, the chat, everybody.
No.
I'm with Francis on that. I've made my metaphor about Jazz. He's the girl that you really like. Jazz Chisholm is the girl that you really like, and you're like, you know what? Before I pop the question, I need to live with you for a year. And then you live with her for a year, and you're like, this wasn't as good as I thought it was. And it's like, I don't know if I make that commitment now. I gotta be careful. That's my thing with it's so weird. It's so weird, man, because
he's a
I
very
like the
good
guy.
player. He's a phenomenal player.
I like Jazz
really
a lot. I really do. He's a very good talent, all that. There's just some things about Jazz where he's just like, I don't know if I'd want to commit that to him.
There's some glaring things there that, and some of them aren't even bad, right? For instance, there's the music thing, right? It's not a bad thing. He makes music.
He makes music, yeah.
It's not a bad thing or whatever.
Yeah.
Why is it a thing for me? Because it is. Because I'm a Yankees fan, and I don't want one of my players to drop an album. I just don't. I think it would be a distraction. I think it could be I don't want one of my players worrying about, pushing his music or pushing performances and tours and stuff like that, like whatever. Even if it's, I'm just going to do it in the offseason, I don't want it. At the same time, do I want Jazz to stop doing that? No, I want Jazz to continue to. I want Jazz to do everything that he wants to do that makes him and his heart happy. But again, though, when I think about these things and the more I mull it over, the more I realize that he might just not be a Yankee. Like, he might just not be that kind of guy.
Yeah.
And that's okay. That's okay. There's plenty of teams that he could go to and have a phenomenal career and do everything he wants to do. I just don't know that here is the place for that, especially if we're going to be paying him 25 to 27 million a year.
Facts. And
you're not going to be able to tell him not to do it, bro.
Well, I could also throw something else by you too, right? Remember all those moves that I talked about of like the moves that I would make when it came to Bichette and Okamoto, when you got that whole infield, you keep Jazz though, and all that, and that's your new infield, right?
Yeah.
You know what that also allows you to do? It allows you to pick up your telephone and make a phone call.
Exactly.
And call down to the St. Louis Cardinals. And you get a guy like Brendan Donovan for all the pitching you have. You throw Brendan Donovan in left field for the year. And when Jazz leaves, Brendan Donovan takes over at second base.
I mean, that's...
Or Bo could play second. You can figure things out from there, but it gives you the other option to say, I can just pencil this dude in at second base. Yeah. I mean, that's the other option there. That's why I said securing the infield is so important. And people are going to sit there and go, yeah, but you got guys there. I'm telling you, man, the Yankees have an opportunity to trade for anybody they want. And what did Francis say when I went over mine? Francis said, Pete, I'll be honest with you. That's probably like 285.
Yeah, it's not. So, the money's not high at all.
I didn't even touch my 305.
No.
And all I did was spend money on 3 players, and then I leave it up to, hey, go ahead and make any trade that you want to make to make this team better. And you can make so many, because not one player Brendan Donovan is not going to cost you Spencer Jones, Dominguez, and 2 top prospects. No, it's not.
No.
You might be able to get him for ERC. You might be able to get him for a Carlos Agranje and 2 other guys.
Yeah.
You might be able to get something like that. Now, again, none of these moves have, the possibility of truly happening. I'm just simply trying to say, be smart here. You don't got to work that hard. Shortstop is such an obvious need of an upgrade. It's so obvious, man. It's so obvious. And even if I was in a room with the Yankees and they go, hey, look, but we really believe in Anthony Volpe, I'd sit there and look at them and go, hey, look, that's fair if you feel that way. But last update we have is that he's under the knife for a shoulder surgery. Why do you think he's going to be a better player after shoulder surgery? Why take that risk when all Bo cost you is money? All he cost you is money. Now, if last year Anthony Volpe got hurt and he hit 265, 20 plus homers, and his on-base percentage was 315 even, I'd say, they got a valid point. They might have a valid point there. Anthony Volpe had his worst year last year. You can make a case. And his career numbers just are not good. I'll just, for the hell of it, man, I'll read them off to you guys. One more go, right? He has 1,717 at-bats. This is not a small sample size at all. He's a 222 career hitter with a 283 career on-base percentage, a 379 career slugging, and a 662 OPS. There is not a single upgrade you can make big enough than Bo Bichette to the Yankees to play shortstop. There is nothing bigger that you can do.
Listen, man.
And then the trades are wide open for whoever the hell you want.
It's obvious. I finished with what I said in the middle of the episode, man. Keep it simple. Don't make things more complicated than they have to be. You know what kind of player Bo is. You know what kind of what he delivers. You know what his strengths are. You know what his weaknesses are. Keep it simple. Keep it simple. That's really it. What the heck is this? That might be the wildest super chat I've ever read in this chat, bro. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, I think I don't know if Jimmy was the one that said this. Like,
That was wild.
I have
something else, man.
I have no
Thanks
idea sometimes. Yeah, I appreciate the super chat, brother.
For sure, yeah.
I have nowhere else to go on this show, to be honest. I think that's it. Look, it's very early in the offseason, guys. We're basically ready to go here. World Series is over. There'll be a little time for exclusive rights, and then it's opened up to everybody.
Yep.
Again, I just want to throw a disclaimer out there one more time. I'm not saying that these are the moves the Yankees are going to make. These are moves that I would make. And then from there, you figure out who's available via trade, and you build your club. But I happen to love my plan. I like my plan a lot. I think my plan makes a lot of sense. Akamoto, again, is a really, really good talent. I think there's a lot of people that know Kazuma Akamoto. They watch him a lot, and they've told me straight up, for the Yankees, he's a way better fit than Murakami is. We've watched this guy for years. Kazuma Akamoto is a way better player than Murakami for the Yankees. That's what they should do. I love the player, man. You can't worry about defense with him. He has that too. Boxing Talk again adds in, are we in on Ben Rice or do we sell high? What about Dominguez or Rice for Sandy? Also, if Rice is traded, could you imagine Alonso's numbers in Yankee Stadium? He could become Schwarber overnight.
Alonso is Schwarber now. Like I don't know why.
Similar, yeah. I would prefer Schwarber over him, but
I feel like Alonso gets some hate, but I don't.
He gets hate because he's a fucking weirdo. Let's be honest. That's why he gets hate.
You're right.
He comes across as a weirdo. He's a good player.
Weird, awkward, corny, even dude.
Let me tell you, bro. You know this as much as I do.
He's
if the Yankees signed him, there's not going to be many people that's like, oh my God, why would we ever do this? No. Like, I don't think many. He's a good player. He's just a weirdo.
He's one of the best home run hitters in baseball today.
Yeah, he's just a strange character.
You'd be adding that to one of the few guys who are ahead of him already in the lineup. Like, I mean, he's Schwarber, and I think what separates him from Schwarber is that Pete Alonso is still playable at first base right now. Mm-hmm. So there's that.
That's a major difference. That's a major difference.
Alonso's also a right-handed. The Yankees struggled with.
Would you do a Dominguez in a deal for? Do you think Sandy is a smart trade now? I like Sandy a lot at the deadline. I don't know if it makes as much sense right now.
I wouldn't entertain the Sandy stuff right now. I think while I was never completely out on Sandy, I saw some people give up on him when he started the way that he started or whatever. Again, people have bad years, especially pitchers. What it would cost to get Sandy, would turn me off right now, because I feel like I could use those same assets to get a player that would be a better fit for the Yankees right now. So no,
Right.
I'm entertain Sandy.
Okay. I'm there with you on that. And Ben Rice, to me, Ben Rice, like I said, is a keeper. You even said that there's not many names out there that you would move Ben Rice for.
Only 3 that I would entertain moving Ben Rice for. And outside of those 3, I don't want to hear the conversation. I'm sorry.
Again.
You saw the page. Look at this. Wait. Is this
no, this is Akamoto.
This is our guy, yeah.
This is Akamoto right here. You can see the play again that he made right over here. So this is actually Akamoto at the time. That's playing first base. So again, he's a Gold Glove defender at third base. He won 2 Gold Gloves at third base, a Gold Glove also at first base. So again, just somebody, in my opinion, that really, really would help this team out in many, many ways. But a player that money alone is all it's going to cost. And the Yankees should certainly try to convince a couple of Japanese players this year to come play in New York. Just give this other example right here. Goodbye. Not even close. And there was a rumor out there by somebody.
Sheesh.
It's a lie. Somebody had a rumor. Somebody said it. I forgot who it was. They said the biggest concern with him is that he hasn't hit high velocity high. That's a lie. I think he's at 293 in his career of 93 miles an hour plus. That's a lie. Whoever's out there saying that, I've seen that many times. I get asked that a lot. It's a lie. Akamoto has not had trouble with higher velos in Japan.
I keep seeing that narrative about the high velocities, and I laugh. Not just with him. I mean, just in general about players. I'm like, when I see that, I'm like, can you tell me who doesn't struggle trying to hit 101 miles an hour? Like, what are you talking about? Like, these are people who like genuinely have not seen what that looks like up close. There's nobody in the game who would tell you, oh no, I love stepping in the box. A guy who throws 105? Oh yeah, sign me up all day.
Oh, there's only one guy. There's one guy.
Well,
one guy, Barry Bonds.
Yeah, that's about it.
Barry Bonds said he could throw 100, and then they're like, right now? Right now. Right now. He's not getting it by me. He's not going to get it by me.
That's that competitive spirit, man, that only Barry had, man. Shouts out to Barry, bro.
But ladies and gentlemen, that is it for us today. Again, one of many episodes of Designated Spitters this offseason, so you do not have to worry. Yeah. We are going to be here for you, no doubt about it. Like I said before, man, this offseason is not going to be hindered at all. Of course, just praying that everything goes well for us on the side with little Manetti. And that's it, man. Then we're good. The studio stuff, that's all being put together, is all being worked on. We'll have that done hopefully by March, April. I'm praying it's not the later side. I'm hoping it's the earlier side. But yeah, man, if you've really enjoyed NYU now, man, oh man, are you gonna love NYU next year? Like, are you really gonna love NYU next year, man? A lot of really, really, to me, I say it's beautiful. A lot of beautiful things are happening behind the scenes, so I'm really excited. So, Francis, as always, man, do us as you do best here. Take us on out.
Listen, man, thank you guys. Well over 500 on this episode, live in this chat, man. You guys are phenomenal, amazing community. Nobody like you guys. So why not bring more? Because the more the merrier, right? So tell a friend to tell a friend to tell their grandmother that NYY Underground is the place to be. Please like and subscribe if you haven't already. And remember, follow us on Instagram. The link is in the chat. It's been in there a couple times tonight. Instagram is the place to be. It's where you get posts like that amazing Halloween post from Friday for everybody else. I mean, you have to be on the IG because that's where all of our best content lives. So make sure you're following there. And as I always say, man, keep it locked and stay tuned, because unlike the other guys, we will keep showing up, and the next episode will be the best episode.
Oh, you bet your ass. And ladies and gentlemen, we will never come whack on a Designated Spitters track. Until next time, ladies and gentlemen, we out. Peace out, baby. Love you guys. Catch you next time. Peace.
Can't make a promise, but I do my best. 25 sitting on 25 racks. Just got started, no, we ain't done yet. Bought a new crib, that's a goddamn flex. Sign that check. Told them last year that I been up next. Can't take calls, but I send that text. From way downtown, but it's shit still